What's good, podcast fam? It's your man of the hour, Jason Craig, aka the friendly name for Dreadhead, and I got a full house tonight to talk about where it all started when gravity and logic still existed in this franchise. I'm joined by four gentlemen. Let's start with you, Brian. Introduce yourself, sir.
Yep. Yep, 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 yep. How is it possible that people still don't know me? I'm loud. I'm super loud. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's me, Brian B. from the Beeline ENT, baby. Yes, and thank you so much, Jay, coming back on the show with you. I love coming on here and talking about movies and shit. That's one of my loves, as y'all can see. Yo, I never showed anybody like my collection. I finally have it like able to be displayed. Believe it or not, like this is just like half of this whole wall, but behind here are movies as well. I'm a
Okay.
movie head, bro. Like I've been collecting for years. So
Okay.
glad to be here, bro.
All right. Glad to have you. And Kyle, introduce yourself, sir.
What is good, people? This is Kyle Eric, aka Elder Tenchi. You can find me on two different platforms, On the Brain ENT and also A for Abled. You want to talk about some nerdy stuff? We got On the Brain for that. You want to talk about mental health and living with disabilities? We got A for Abled for that. And I just want to thank Jason for inviting me on the platform. I know we've been wanting to collab for a minute now, so thanks, bro.
Oh, no problem, no problem. And Mr. Warren, introduce yourself.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you don't know who I am, I'm the host of the Bosom of Marlowe podcast. You might saw me in a mask, probably in Georgia or any other area. Captain America wrestling. I've got so many daggone monologues, but man, Jason, it's fun. Brian, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Oh yeah.
Have any show between me and Brian, it's great because when we have a time limit.
Mhm.
It's going to be a challenge if we hit that time limit, or it's just going to go over or whatever.
Gonna go over
But
for sure.
we always have a good time. And Jason, it's always a pleasure, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's always a pleasure. Go check out all three of these guys. These guys are great at what they do. But what we all going to do tonight, now we all know that there's a certain franchise that is coming out with this 10th inst Damn, that's 10 movies. 10 10th
And movies,
installment.
yo. Yep.
Fast
As long as they
and
don't go to
Furious
space.
10 or Fast X for all the newer generations. But we're not talking about that. We're gonna say that for Sunday. Tonight we're gonna talk about where it all started and the Fast and the Furious with Paul Walker as Brian, Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto, my baby Michelle Rodriguez as Letty. I forgot the rest of the cast. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'll be honest with
Yeah,
you.
you had in
Jordan
the first
Brewster.
one, yeah, Jordana Brewster was his sister.
Okay, Mia.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
Who was
Who
the
else?
best friend? I cannot remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember the rest
He
of the
was in
actors.
so many films.
Hold up. You know what?
He was a bad guy in a lot of films, if I
I'm gonna
remember.
do. I'm gonna do.
Let me pull this up.
IMBD.
IMDb.
All right. I'm gonna do these people justice. Okay. Okay. We had, of course, Vin Diesel, Dominic Toretto, Paul Walker as Brian. I forgot his last name in the first one. That it was a dumbass last name. Matt Schultz as Vince. Uh,
There you go. Yeah.
Johnny Strong as Leon. Ricky Yoon as Johnny Trent. I got a lot to say about his character.
That dude, right?
I got a lot to say about just his
Ludacris
character.
was in the first one too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I forgot Ja Rule was in there.
Second one.
No, Ja Rule.
Ja
Was
Rule was in the first one. Had
Ja
a
Rule
bit
was
part.
the first one, yeah.
Ludacris
And
replaced. Ludacris
Ludacris
replaced
did
Ja Rule.
replace him.
Yeah, pretty much, and took over.
But yeah, y'all, man.
Matt Schultz. That's the guy that played as the best friend.
Yes. Well,
Johnny Strong.
so like we said, this series has gone on for 20 plus years now. Um, now I got some clips. I got some clips, y'all, just to show you how far we have came. I would say as a society, but just how far we came with these movies. Oh, we started. So this is where we started at. Let me just go ahead and pull this up because y'all, this is crazy. Um, oh, oh, okay, yeah. So here's how we started. Here's how we started all of this craziness and crazy shit. This is what these movies have devolved into. I need a switcher really bad. There we go.
We're gonna need a bigger truck.
Oh, that's not that crazy.
Report.
Oh yeah.
You need to get out of there before they send ground support.
Dead. He is dead. That whole bus is dead. That whole bus will be dead.
I was fired up.
So just a little bit of what, as you can see, this shit's got off the rails. But, for anybody that says that these movies are too crazy, anybody says these movies too crazy for you, you always have that first one. You always have that first one. That's what we're gonna be talking about tonight. So I'm gonna just go around the room and ask, what was y'all's first impressions of this movie when you first saw it for the first time all those years
Tell you
ago?
what age we were too.
You said what?
I said, "Here, we about to reveal what age we were as well when we watched this film."
Hey, you don't got to. It can be a secret. I'm gonna just start with me. With me, I don't know shit about cars, but now I want a car. This is cool. Being able to look, being able, just also just me. I have always had love for movies. Just seeing all the stunts, how a lot of these moments, unlike all the other films, there actually feels like there's actual danger.
Yeah.
You didn't know if they were going to live, like that truck scene from the first one, like that trucker scene, which I got some. I hope they're not truckers like that out there for real.
I mean, something tells me there might be.
But yeah, I just really fell in love with that first movie. Like, man, this is really cool. And yeah, just I feel like I'm watching a racing game just on the big screen.
Yeah,
That's the
that
best
was
way
one
to
of the
put it.
coolest parts about it for sure. I mean, the Fast and the Furious came out, and when it did come out, nobody knew it was going to be a franchise. Back in 2001 or whatever. Like everybody saw it, and I think everybody kind of related the same way. To think it really wasn't too many movies out there like that. Like you had a lot of cool car scenes in movies, but it was never like one that was like basically dedicated to street racing and drag racing and stuff like that I can remember. And I think they had a really good storyline. There was a lot of action and stuff like that. I think it really filled a genre that was available to fill.
Right.
It was good. It was a good ass movie. I mean, you can't deny that shit.
Right.
It was good, really good.
What about you, sir? Or Kyle?
Oh no, you want to go first?
Go ahead, Kyle.
When I first saw it, because 2001, right?
Yep.
Thinking about 2001 when I first saw it, the first thing I thought of was the cars. They look hot. Okay, the cars look hot. The women, they look hot. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Real.
because that was the formula. That was the formula. It was fast cars and women. Because you saw those first trailers, they knew exactly what they were doing to get butts and seats, right? Plus, anybody remember the soundtracks of these films? They're actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were
You know, they're
classic
actually,
shit.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good. I think Too Fast, Too Furious is my favorite. But yeah, that's what I remember. Fast cars, and it was the first time I was ever introduced to the concept of NOS, like the nitrous going through the car. Like when you would see that, like the graphics of the nitrous going through the pipes and stuff of the car, it was like, okay, that is dope. That is so
Yeah.
dope. I don't know how anyone can actually do that.
TV.
You could actually do that? I didn't
Stay
know that
away
was
from
real.
there.
You
Watch
know what I'm
TV.
saying? That
Right.
introduced me to a whole new way of looking at cars. And I'm not big on racing or anything, but my thing was like, those cars are hot and everybody seems like they're having so much fun. What the heck is Ja Rule doing here? You know, that was my only real questions for this entire film.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
it definitely had a lot. Like you said, like fast cars. It knew what audience it was kind of hitting.
Yep.
I mean, when it comes to like guy movies, I think around that time too, there was a lot of talk with street
Watch
racing
the
and stuff
movie.
like that, like decals, and you had games like Midnight Run, and it definitely it had a genre. Like people were talking about it. I mean, I remember I didn't know shit about cars either, Jay. Like I had nothing about it. Besides, I wanted one. Really fucking nigga.
I was a big
Get off
Hot
the
Wheels
bus.
fan, so that's what really got me into this film.
Yeah.
I mean, Hot Wheels, and you remember that NASCAR?
Hot Wheels,
You remember that NASCAR cartoon that came out around with Fox Kids and stuff like that? So all like it was like a whole genre, like just race car things were like going around. I remember on PlayStation 2, big game that really reminded me of this was Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah.
I really loved
Wow.
that thing, and it was just like, and then you got the Need for Speeds
Need
and
for
stuff like
Speed.
that. So that was like, that's what gave me with Fast and the Furious. I'm like thinking I'm watching Need for Speed or Mission
Wanted.
Impossible or something
Most
like
Wanted was
that
the
type
best.
of feel with it. And
Oh,
then I
yeah.
think didn't Tyrese do like Biker Boys right before he did
think he-
Fast and
Tyrese
Furious 2 or
wasn't-
something like that?
Tyrese wasn't Biker Boy. That was another bald-headed black guy, Warren. I know we all look alike.
Lawrence Fishburne? No. What's his name? I thought he was in it.
Nah,
Hold on,
he,
hold
guy
on,
looked
let me
like
look.
he looked like Tyrese a little bit, but it wasn't him. I don't even know his name. He was in John
I
Q.
just don't remember his name.
He was in a bunch of different movies.
Okay.
Biker Boy's another. That fucking movie is phenomenal.
That's what I was saying. Like Biker Boys was like kind of like that transition with Fast and the Furious. I felt like it was a cool street racing thing. You didn't get to see these
Yeah.
things all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, if anybody didn't know who Paul Walker was, even though he was that prom king type character in every film he was in, but to watch this film was like the legit first action type film I thought we saw with Paul Walker.
Yeah. Fast and Furious. definitely
Diesel could
Paul
finally act in something. Like it looked like really something interesting to watch him in, and it was like, bruh, when you watch this film, you didn't want to even be near Vin. Like you had been terrified just to step near this guy. Like,
Yeah, it
okay,
made those
buddy.
guys. It made those guys for sure. I still think to this day. I mean, I think that the biggest thing that Vin Diesel, besides like Groot, from Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, but the biggest thing that he has
Best
to fall
ones
back
ever.
on is Fast and the Furious. Because
Yeah.
You had what else was Vin Diesel? He did Triple X. I mean,
He did
Did you
Triple
say
X.
Iron Giant?
Whatever.
Man?
He was
the voice of
Iron
Giant.
Giant.
He was an Iron Giant.
Oh, he was Iron Giant. I
He
didn't
was the
know that
Iron
shit.
Giant.
He was.
He has a knack for playing characters that don't say much.
Oh, okay. I
But
wonder
he
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I found out he was Iron Giant, I was like, wait, that's him? And now
Yeah,
I
I'd
look
never
at
Bro,
it.
you could hear that
You could hear it.
completely, and they're like, yeah, I see it.
I've never watched the Iron Giant in my life, and I'm ashamed
What?
of all of y'all for watching. it.
You,
Let me tell you, no.
you,
Like,
shame,
the
shame
Iron
to you,
Giant is
sir.
a cult classic.
Watch that
Wow.
shit.
Shame to you, sir.
It's a cult classic. It didn't get the recognition it deserved when it came out at all.
It was
I
actually
know.
not,
I know
it
why.
was not bad, man. It was like the first ever film like you thought Disney would have bought, but it wasn't a Disney cartoon, which
Right?
was
Just like I
even
never
better.
watched that Polar Express shit.
You don't gotta watch that. You don't gotta watch that.
Oh,
Nah, all the
I put those on the same group.
it's just
Nah.
the uncanny valley of that
Don't-
movie.
Don't
That's
you
it.
dare put Polar Express.
With
Iron
Iron
Giant.
Giant. Not even
Polar
close.
Express.
Yo, I was a
movie guy?
kid.
We're
looking at that
comparing
shit like,
Polar
fuck, I didn't
Express
watch
to
that.
Iron Giant. My goodness.
Polar Express. I'm sorry. Those kids look terrified. They look like they're in pain. They're animated like they're in pain.
That was the monologue for the It film, except it was with a train.
Yeah. What?
The uncanny valley.
I'll watch anything else besides Frozen. Fuck that shit too. That's another one. I just completely.
I gotta
What?
watch that.
Dominated,
I
and I
still
just
haven't.
wanna-
I still haven't watched that.
I don't allow my kids.
Don't
to
have a
watch
kid if that's the case. Because if
They can watch.
if you
They
have
can
a
watch
kid,
porn. They
you're
can watch
gonna have to
porn
watch
before they watch
crap.
that shit.
My sister and my sister and her best friend are like, wait, hold up, you haven't seen Frozen yet? I'm like, that junk was way too overhyped. That's why I just couldn't get into it. I thought I was gonna be able to get into Frozen too, but
Oh, no,
It's
no,
got
like,
some
see,
catchy songs. Don't even lie.
like the first one was cool, but like, I forgot that second one. That second one was dog
Fuck
shit.
that shit, yo.
That second one was dog shit. But hey, right here, like I said, we're gonna watch this trailer because but we've all had a love for the for the Fast franchise. Some probably more than others. But this is the movie that gravity, logic, and physics were still they still were getting a paycheck for this movie.
Yeah, for real.
So let's go ahead and watch the trailer for Fast and Furious, for the Fast and the Furious, and we will come back with our retro review. Damn, that shit look really old now.
They really do. Crazy. 23 years.
Yeah.
Let's go for a little ride.
This is yours, but if you win, you get her too.
What the hell is that all about?
A business deal that went sour. Plus, I made the mistake of sleeping with his sister.
AOL.
Well,
Dope, man.
y'all,
It's dope.
I would just start off by saying this, like I was telling these guys before we started. If you watch this movie and you skip to 5, you're gonna think you ingested a bunch of fucking drugs because this is tamed compared to what we get from
Yep.
5 on out. It's like
Yeah,
legit.
shit started getting ridiculous.
It legit like logic, gravity, and physics. After that film, we said, well, we see we not needed here. We will pick our check up in the mail. We see y'all. We see that there's no logic, no gravity, no physics going on here. So go ahead and take our check. But as far as this movie, for years people have always said that they liked the Fast and Furious movies because like the first 3. A lot of people that like the first 3, they like it because of the fast cars and the racing. And I said, I was never that person. But then when I watched this film again, I realized it wasn't the races that made me like this movie. It was the actual characters when they were still characters and not cartoons. Like,
I mean, yeah, for sure. I like the characters of Fast and Furious. I mean, I personally think that they did a good job of building. There was a lot of ridiculousness. Let's not get it twisted. But the characters themselves, I mean, if you think about it, like they told a nice story, especially like with the family and everything like that or whatever, how they build their establishment, the people that they have brought in throughout the series. They've always made sense. They've always told a story, and they always filled a role in a position that made the story more interesting. I mean, like even with Kurt Russell coming in to be like the guy who was like,
Nobody.
the secret agent, but he knows that these guys are like the street racing team and like the underground guys who will get it done better than the professionals. It told a good story, bro. Like there's a reason why they got 10 movies in.
right.
But it is kind of ridiculous. It does got some ridiculous shit with it, for sure.
But
For
Yeah.
sure.
but yeah, because I was watching this movie, I was like, wow, people that said they like the races, they have not watched the movie in a while. I counted, there was 3 races.
Yeah.
3 races in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And
I think it's that lifestyle.
And they've not like. I think the reason why people like this movie so much is because of there actually feels like stakes. there's stakes in the. You actually feel like these characters are in danger because in these movies you will actually see, oh, somebody will get fucked up by a shotgun, somebody will get fucked up by a harpoon wire,
Yeah.
somebody will get fucked up from actually crashing a car that got blood on them. And also after watching this movie, and I'll pass it to somebody else. There's one thing I want to add. I'm going to give Fast and Furious 9 credit because they did actually, after watching the movie, like, you know what? They actually planted the seeds for why Dom went to prison, and they actually showed what happened. They didn't explain his white brother, though. That was not explained in the first movie.
No.
I don't know where the fuck that came from. But they did explain the family. So I do like they're still trying to tie up loose ends that they wove into these movies. But Warren, start off with your first impressions, like,
The cars were just really the coolest thing looking at, man. Like the
Body kits.
Yeah, body kits, the NOS, everything. Like, man, that made you just legit like, I want to see one of these in my backyard type scenario. And you weren't going to ever see a car like that in person at that time. So it's like,
Right.
it was really cool to see these things. Like, it was literally like, I joke with it. I was like, man, it's like a Marvel version of a race car that literally is driven on the street. Like, this ain't like a NASCAR car. This ain't a stock car or anything like that. This is legit like a regular car, but with NOS and all this thing that make it just go insanely big. So it's like really cool to see those things. So you're okay.
Warren got daddy daycare over there.
I know.
It's a struggle. Okay. Leave Trixie alone. Go. Yes. Oh my lord. Okay. Have a dog and a daughter. My goodness.
All good.
Got
It's
three.
all good.
It's all good, bro.
My goodness. My 4-year-old. She always tries to get on the camera. That's really all she
She
does.
just
She'll
wants
try
get
to act
some-
every time just to get on one. But like I said, with Paul Walker, like Paul Walker literally struck as like an action hero type look
Right.
in this film. And like it was like he was this cop and he's being undercover to, get Dom in the long run. It was to go to get Dom. And then he gets in a relationship with Dom's sister. And he gets in a bond with Dom at the same time. So he becomes like in their family initiative. And it's kind of like, he's like, is he really that bad guy? Like, is he really what I've been researching on these files and all this stuff on? It makes you second guess it. It just puts you on a roller coaster. And like how we just talked about, the characters is what driven us to watch these films. There's no way we can't say that because
Yeah.
even though there's so many of them, and I mean, but those characters, like if you're on Team Brian's spot, you're like, is he really that of a bad guy? Like, is Dom really who they say he is? Like, when you first hear about it, you think he's like the Joker, like, oh my gosh, the worst villain ever, the mob guy, everything. But when he's in there and he's like, maybe we're the ones that are the bad guys and stuff like that. And it was just like there was a whole roller coaster in that whole first film with Letty. I mean, good Lord, Michelle Rodriguez. She was really on top of her game around that years too, especially just in movies in general. Like she was in a
Resident
lot
Evil,
of
I
movies
think-
coming out.
I think Resident
back
Evil came out around this time too. I think the first one,
2000.
Yep.
Yeah, the
2001.
first one was in 2000.
in.
2002. Yeah, the first movie was 2002.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
So I mean, she was like one of the main known ones in that. I think Vin Diesel, obviously, yes. Paul Walker, I think everybody. This was his first film. Like I said, like he was like a cop, a combat hero type look. And Georgiana Brewster. I don't remember a lot of films with her in it before those. So I thought
Faculty.
that was a real, huh?
I was the Faculty. That was where I first saw her.
Faculty, yeah, that's right. But I mean, but like it was just a cool introduction to seeing something like we don't get to see films of. Like, you got The Matrix, you got all these different type of films that we get, but you got this film, and it was like this was legitimately like a male's movie, but also it was cool for females to watch at the same time. Like it was something that a male and a female could watch, and it wouldn't feel weird. Like it's not. It was like a mixture of a chick flick into a hardcore badass street racing type movie. Like it was like all kinds of mixtures to get an audience built into this film. So I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I was very young at the time, so I saw the trailer off of Monday Night Raw or something like that. I was like, hey man, it's got Limp Bizkit in the song. It's got, all these different singers in this soundtracks. I will say that Fast and Furious has had phenomenal soundtracks just from the beginning all the way to still they got to this day. That's one movie soundtracks that really still, it can have some music that would make you enjoy yourself. So, I mean, it's just a cool little experience. Like it's like we just said, man, for that film to start out, and we're on the verge of the 10th film now. The 10th film, and it's been a whole nother decade since then. So it's like, it's just crazy. It just really is crazy.
I was talking to my brother about this franchise earlier, and we were like, there are kids, there are people today that have grown up with this franchise. Like we can remember before this franchise, right? And now you have an entire generation who have grown up with these films. They're like this has a crazy fan base. And when you first see the original Fast and Furious, number one, when the titles made sense, and number two, that you didn't have to suspend too much disbelief. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the rest.
More realistic for sure.
Yeah, you didn't have to, like, there was some things that they did. It was like, okay, action movie stuff. We know that that's stunts, that's choreographed stuff like that. You
could possibly beat a train. You could possibly just beat the train in the race,
you could possibly run before a train gets there. You could possibly get through before a train gets there. The bus thing, like, ain't no way in the world you didn't have
a good driver.
You know what I'm saying? But it felt
that's what made it interesting though, man, because it's like, even though it is,
the wood to make it spin.
some stuff is goofy, but even though they did do that, like it did keep you entertained. Though you can't.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things, because even the one that I remember the biggest was when they were doing that tank scene or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, it was in the 8th one. No, I think it was 8. I think it was.
Yeah, 8 and they had a tank and they were sitting there doing the thing, and he jumped from the car and swung back in and jumped in the thing. And I'm sitting there watching that shit, and I'm like, yo, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, this is some acrobats with cars at this point. Like, then they went to space, and I'm like, oh yeah, y'all fucking.
That one I was done with. I was so irritated. I was like,
go to space.
Did we really just say this? They went to space.
After you do 25 movies, what the fuck? What do you want to
watch
go
it in
to?
3D. So
Somewhere.
This was my first experience. I watched this movie in 3D. I didn't know, okay, a 3D type feel with the theater is a lot different than watching the original movie. My friend was like, yeah, man, we're going to watch it in this thing. So I'm not expecting anything. So he's got the little levels of the shaking and everything. He turned that son of a bitch all up. Like, everything is like shaking and everything. And of course, the first experience of me watching a 3D film is going to be watching the Fast and the Furious 9. So let's put it this way. When they're driving, you're feeling everything. I'm sitting here shaking in the chair, and the water would hit you in the face with that. There was like a water part in the scene, the fire would start in your face. I'm just like, what in
you went to a 4D theater today.
4D.
Yeah,
You
4D.
That's
4D.
I was like, what in the hell am I in right now? And it was just like, it made it really cool, but like you just said with the tank and stuff like that, it made it really more realistic. Because I watched it in the 4D type film, so it made the film more cooler, except the damn space part. Because I'm sitting there like, come on.
Look,
wait. What about the magnets?
Oh yeah.
The Magna, I actually
remember
thought
which one
was
that
pretty
was.
damn unique. I will say that was unique.
That was still.
All of it was good.
It was creative.
It wasn't
I
bad.
just thought they
It was
could have done a way better story if
there.
they were going to do the space ordeal. Make it sound like, okay, it takes them half the movie to come back from the space. Not like, oh yeah, we're just laying them right back. Like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So Warren, you weren't for 2 Negroes going to space in the Pontiac with the rocket straps?
I will say,
The
bro,
rocket straps.
Tyrese was hilarious in these films, bro. Like Tyrese
he
would
did
have
really
you
good.
damn near if you got a bladder problem, whatever, man, you might as well just pour a pair of Depends or something, because you're gonna be pissed and laughing on this film. Like he had a gift with that thing. Like this film, every single one where he was introduced, like as a whole with the group, he was phenomenal in these films. And I thought it was pretty funny with him going to space and him, and obviously, Ludacris going at the same time. Because I'm like, at least Tez and, Roland are going. So it kind of like gives them a good mixture. Like, but it's still like, come on, man. The ugliest car out of everything in the Fast and the Furious, one of the beat up cars are the ones that takes them to space.
Hey, all reliable, man. All reliable.
Reliable. Probably put together better than all the new shit that's out there. That's probably why. At least that's what everybody's saying.
If you got at least a 2% chance before another one of these cars.
I also want to point something out that this movie shows its age. If y'all know Hondas now, Hondas are basically plastic. So
they are. I got one, so I know.
So imagine trying to race a Honda at the speeds that they were going. A newer Honda, the speeds that shit would be on fire.
Yep.
And also another thing,
would have turned to dust.
Also another thing, Logic did kind of take a break in this film. I was talking to Kyle before we went on the air. I said, "Yeah, watching the movie, there was a quick line. I didn't notice, but he said, yeah, that was a 10-second race. Like 10 seconds, nigga, that was 5 minutes. What are you talking about? 10 seconds? I was like, and of course, like the CGI. I'm not gonna lie. One kind about that, the little CGI that they do have besides going to the engine, which is the coolest bit of CGI in the film.
Yeah.
But boy, when you go to the CGI of showing the cars,
yeah.
Oh my god!
You forget what CGI really looked like. As far as at that time period, you still respect it.
Yeah.
But, I respect it, but boy,
shit was different.
That shit looked like it came from the Need for Speed Underground game.
Yeah, I'm telling you, yo.
This looks so bad.
It's dated. Like, yeah, but I think now we've been spoiled with how much CGI there is in films because we grew up in we grew up in the early Toy Story era and the
Pixar, yep.
In the early Pixar era where they didn't have everything right either, but everything still looked nice.
Actually, that's what Tokyo Drift kind of was.
I'm the Drift King.
Tokyo Drift.
That was one of the best ones to me.
Hold on, Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift does not need to exist.
Tokyo Drift was pretty good.
No.
It was interesting. It was a different, interesting take on it, and I like the drive-in. They included like the drifting in the actual story.
Oh yeah, all of that was fine.
They did good with the series, man. And then they tied it all back together.
Didn't make no damn sense that they were trying to address in that film.
See, the driving and the drifting, everything else like that is fine.
The cars and everything was amazing. I won't lie about that. Everything in that part, but the story, yeah.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
If you're gonna take us to Tokyo, okay, if you're gonna take us to Japan, the city where drifting started, and introduce us to a new type of racing as far as this franchise is concerned, right? Why is the focus on an American dude? Why is
drifting?
Why is the focus if you're gonna introduce drifting? Why is the focus on an American dude, and then you give us like one of the most beloved characters in Han, and then it's like, okay, so how did we meet Han? Because we don't find out that he was down with the family until the end of the film, which was supposed to be the end of the franchise.
His contract, he had a whole bunch of fruit snacks, food, chips, Cheetos, everything.
He's always
eating something in that film.
I never knew why he was doing that until my brother pointed it out to me. He's like, well, he quit smoking.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, okay, that makes
sense. Hand to mouth.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's so interesting about this franchise, really 3 kind of changed the trajectory for this franchise because it did so poorly that
all of them. I think that was the worst one.
Yeah, they called Vin Diesel back, and Vin Diesel said, "Yeah, I'll come back if you give me my Riddick film." and that was the only reason why we
That was the stipulation.
Oh damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
What?
So Vin Diesel, he
Yeah.
said he
Riddick
could only come
Riddick
back
was
if-
ass too.
Well, no, wait.
Which one? Pitch
No,
Black?
Fucking Pitch Black, all of them. The Witch Hunt, all that
Oh,
shit.
3 of them?
That's why I said Vin Diesel has like 2 roles that he really played: Groot and fucking Fast and the Furious, where it was like that's all you know him from. Y'all said the Iron Giant. I don't fucking know that.
Everybody
That's
knows
not a
that.
perfect-
You know
Not
that.
like
Like,
Pacifier?
To be fair, to be fair, not too many people knew.
Nobody
who
ever
he
found that
was
out
back
until
in the
right
Iron
now.
Giant days. You know what I'm saying? But still.
But like, yeah, so 3 did so bad they called Vin Diesel back. He said he
had a little
made a
vignette
deal.
in the end of it.
Yeah, but that's why that
That's
post
what
that
saved
post-
it too, because that's the only reason why a lot of people watched it.
Tie it back in.
Yeah, like
mean,
Luckily,
no, I'm
this
not
is
gonna say
when
that.
DVD started too.
It was an action movie, yo, and I mean it had the like the connections in it
Bro, I
as far
remember
as like if
people
you're watching it
rented
with
that
cars.
film just to fast forward it to watch just the Vin Diesel part.
What?
Yeah, bro,
He,
like-
he just walked in. He didn't fucking even do anything. He just,
No, but that's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
He cranked the
at the
car.
very end.
No, but that's the thing. So the story was the movie was done filming, and and they
Oh, they
said,
didn't
we
need
need
to say-
you.
The director looked at this film like, I just hope a lot of people just love the graphics of this shit because
Yeah,
I don't
they
even know
went in a
what we
whole different
made.
direction. They had all different people. They didn't have
How about-
anybody from the original. It was definitely different.
So hold on. So when they did that film, it was Han's brother that killed Han, supposedly, right?
I don't know.
no. Jason Statham was the one.
No,
No.
they
I'm
did that
talking
later.
about on Tokyo.
He died. He died, but they never showed you who it was. Remember, they brought it back and showed you that it was Jason Statham.
Yeah, I did say from the whole long stint of
I
that.
think, pretty sure.
I
haven't
was
watched
very
it in a fucking
happy
long
that
time.
they continued the Tokyo Drift. It actually saved the Tokyo Drift in ways because
Oh yeah, they
God
had
forbid.
to be able to continue the storyline. I mean, they kind of went left field, like you guys are saying, and I didn't know any of the like politics behind it or whatever, but they did go left field. They didn't include any of the
yeah, there
original
was a
cast
lot of
members.
that.
It was a completely new story, but I thought it was still good. I mean, it was still a good movie. Like, you know, it wasn't like the other ones because, you know, you didn't see even Too Fast, Too Furious didn't really include a lot of the people because Vin Diesel wasn't really in that one either.
No,
man.
That was Paul Walker.
everybody
and Tyrese.
watched that one
was
for
phenomenal.
Eva Mendes. I don't care what anybody
Nah,
says.
fuck that, bro. Tyrese and that shit was. And
I
Paul
don't
Walker, that shit
care
was
what
great.
anybody says.
That shit was great.
You had
I'm
Eva
not gonna
Mendes
lie.
in a bikini. That's it.
Like I said, I like the film for Eva Mendes because I went back and like for me,
Eva
I watched a
Mendes
lot of
watching
movies.
watching that film was like watching a James Bond type film right there.
Like-
Eva Mendes was the Bond girl for that film.
Like
no way.
I watch a lot of movies, so my critic eye pops out a lot. And I watched Too Fast and Furious, like this is literally the first film. Just they replaced a racially ambiguous man with a black man, and there you go. That is the movie. That is definitely. I was like,
And that was where Luda made his interest in that one too.
yes,
The
Ludacris.
Stan Ludacris, man. Afro showing and all, man.
Yeah,
He
Luda
went
was in
from-
that shit.
He went from a mechanic.
Asian girl's name. I can't remember her name. She was in a good portion of them, though.
Yeah.
She was. She
Yeah,
was.
she was in a
And
bunch of
she's the one
movies.
that busted up her car after that first race. But
Yeah. She
Yeah,
looked
but
like she could like hurt somebody for real.
Yeah,
and
but like-
more ways
Sin
than
City,
one.
she was in a bunch of movies.
Yeah, but like from this first film, like I said, I love the character. Like the character, I realize you can see through these movies now that these actors, well, some of them, they're just going through the motions. Especially Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel basically sleepwalking through these movies.
Yeah.
But
Her-
you can tell. But you can tell from the
Curls.
first one.
Curls and white tank top, and I'm good.
But you can tell from the first movie, he's actually charismatic in this movie. He actually has character to him. I said, oh, no wonder why I started liking these characters because they actually act like fucking human beings. Like, and like I said,
Fast
I'm not
and Furious
shitting.
Power Rangers edition. Go.
I'm not shitting on the franchise by any means because I love. This is one of the few movies where it has a diverse cast and it's $1 billion franchise. So I'm all for the franchise. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie and say that they're not. What's up, the loud spot? How you doing? Nice to hang out with us.
Bash.
Nice to talk. Nice to you
That's
drop
cool
in
shit,
join us. But that's the thing about like these movies is I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these movies, they are technically from a technical standpoint, they are bad. They are bad movies. They are bad movies. But these are what I call popcorn movies because these are so fucking fun.
And that, but that's the thing. What makes a movie bad? You feel me? Like, as far as I would say, all the Fast and the Furious is pretty much they all were good action movies, man.
Every single
They
one of
all
them
were
drew
good action
money.
movies.
In movie theaters, every single one of them topped a lot of charts.
But I'm saying just without the politics, bro. Like, I mean, without the sales, whatever. Like, even if it did $3, like when you were watching it, wasn't it good? Like, it had people fighting, people racing. The story was always interesting. It was never like I can't remember not one Fast and the Furious movie being boring. Maybe over the top, whatever. But as far as when you're watching movies, like I guess depending
Tokyo
on what you're
Drift.
looking for.
Tokyo
Well,
Drift.
okay.
Tokyo Drift was not boring, man.
Tokyo
I
Drift.
hating.
was
Call
fun.
it
I
boring.
bootlegged it. I couldn't watch that one no more, man. I was
Oh,
like,
you bootlegged? Yeah, that's why you probably watching with people walking past the screen and shit. Bootlegs back in the day was horrible. It was fucking.
No, I didn't know what
you didn't
bootleg
even
was,
see it,
and I had my
technically.
friend, and his dad was like a semi truck driver and stuff, so he got all these movies. So we're watching it in the truck on his truck, and I'm
I'm
just
like,
sitting, I'm like, what in the world is this?
That's why he don't like that shit at all. Like, fuck the whole
I
movie.
mean, like I said,
Like, why does people keep walking through the film? Like, what's wrong with
Bruh,
it?
I used to hate
Like,
my
I can
cousin getting on those
understand-
fake ass movies, yo.
like,
I
can
wouldn't even watch
understand-
it.
I
Like, I
got
can
so mad. I was
understand
like,
why
man, I can't.
I can understand why people don't like the series because, like I said, if you don't like ridiculous shit in your films that make no sense, this series is not for you. But what classifies a bad movie to me is, for one, the act. If the acting is bad, which in
Yeah,
a lot of these
acting will
movies,
fuck up a movie, yo. Yeah,
like
acting will
which in
fuck
a
up
lot
a
of these
movie.
movies, the acting is bad. And if like there is no cohesive story, I'm sorry. I love these franchise. I love this film to death. I want them to cross over Transformers at some point. They might as well at this point. But you cannot tell me that this story makes any damn sense at this point.
Transformers starting to lose it too. They fucking. I heard that
Transformers
Beast
lost
Wars.
it a long time ago.
Yeah, I heard that Beast Wars shit is trash. I heard this new Fast and Furious is trash too.
Well,
I'm not
Let's-
running to see this shit. I mean,
well,
sorry,
the thing
Vin
about,
Diesel.
well, think about Transformers. Bumblebee,
Go back
for
to
me,
being Groot.
Bumblebee saved Transformers. Bumblebee
yeah.
saved Transformers because after
Yeah.
Michael Bay stuck his dick in Transformers, said, "I don't want no more Michael Bay films. I don't want no more."
Stuck his dick in
Oh,
it.
Jay, you
Oh,
tripping,
wow.
yo.
I do not
Michael
like.
Bay was the
I-
reason
What
why
a
Transformers was
reference
good.
to a film.
That shit was the
Man.
reason he made it good. I'm saying him, Shia
Hell,
LaBeouf.
look,
Whoa,
Shit was
whoa,
phenomenal.
I need you to
Mike,
explain that.
listen, bro, hold up, wait, here we go. Let me explain everything right now. Michael Bay, first off, ain't nobody going to knock on Michael Bay because he's the creator of my favorite fucking movies, Bad Boys. Every
Bad
Bad
Boys,
Boy.
that's a good one.
Okay, let me tell
Okay,
you
that's
right
a
now,
good
Michael
one.
Bay is
4 about to
phenomenal.
come out.
Yeah, oh yeah, bro, I'll be right there. But the first Transformers movie was incredible.
Yeah, the
Nobody
first
can
one was
deny
good.
it. First one was
First one
incredible.
was
The
good.
second one was really good.
no,
The
Second one was
they
really
backtracked.
good.
The
No.
second one they
I thought the second
backtracked.
one was great.
no.
What do you mean
I'm
it was
gonna tell you
backtrack? No, the story connected what they were trying to approach into it.
Look,
Yeah, I
That
didn't
was
think it
what
backtracked.
I
The
thought
second
was
one,
Transformers.
they completely backtracked with Bumblebee. At the end of number 1, he gets his voice back. By the end of number 2, they act like it never happened. I mean, the beginning of number 2, they act like it never happened.
Didn't they fuck
They
it up?
wanted to
Like,
continue it on because obviously, the main thing that they were so worried about with these films, I guarantee you, was Megan Fox was asking for too much damn money sitting there doing these films. Like, that was the main problem they had with Transformers. I've heard back then was like the biggest issue was about Megan Fox and stuff. But I thought they did really well with this because, yes, like how you just said, they backtracked with Bumblebee, but we got to find out more about Bumblebee, and I think that what made the movie Bumblebee even more better because, okay, now you're
Bad.
understanding how Bumblebee got his voice and what was everything going to transpire and stuff like that. I thought they did really well with that because it sent you on a trail. Shia LaBeouf did a great freaking job
That's
playing
my
this
boy.
That's
main
what he was
character.
given, yeah. He did.
Bro,
Oh,
his
my-
mom and dad were glorious in these films.
Look,
bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you. Look, I'm gonna tell you why I said
Where
what I
she
said
thought
about
he was
Michael Bay.
masturbating in that damn room when Megan Fox. That shit had me crying.
I'm gonna tell you why I said what I said about Michael Bay. Michael Bay, he's a great director. Like, he is great when it comes to cinematography. Like, some of his shots,
I'm gonna
action
kick
all
your
day.
ass. That
like-
shit had me
like,
crying.
action
bro.
is cool, but when it comes to a goddamn script, And also, I will never forgive him for them racist ass robots, skids and
Hey,
mud
I'm glad
flaps.
somebody said it.
Like,
I'm glad
that
somebody
was,
said it.
that was
Oh,
some
for the-
racist ass shit.
The
What happened?
robot-
Jive
I don't
talking
know.
robots with gold teeth, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh, no,
like-
we don't read. We don't read.
why is that
the
bad,
small
though? I'm
robot.
saying, like,
Okay, I got
that-
what
That's
you're
not
that-
funny.
Bro,
That
people
is
great
not fun.
character,
I'm like-
bro. Like, you can't hate on. I mean,
No,
That's a
I
character.
was a
That's
kid.
There's
see
a motherfucker
that's
on the
the
block
biggest
right
problem
now
with
with
a
that
lot
same
of
shit,
films
yo.
nowadays. We're looking at these little things and we're assuming that that is what that is, and that's what's also hurting the product in a lot of things too. Because when you're watching these things, you're like, oh, that looks like that, but are they really trying to make that sound like that, or are they trying to make it sound like, hey, I can kind of see this character. Like, okay, this character's kind of cool type scenario. Like, kind of give like a relatability to everybody. Like when we see Bumblebee, thinking like a basic, child type scenario. Optimus Prime, the head chief, everything. Like, good God, man, the dude that did the voice of Optimus Prime, fucking phenomenal, flat out. Like motivator, narrator, voice, whatever, phenomenal. I thought just how they driven the whole story with everything. It took you on a whole dilemma. Like I said, like I love films when they do these series and they take you on a roller coaster. I felt that's what they did with Transformers. Now, I'm hoping this Transformers is going to be good because my son, being autistic, that is like one of his number one franchises
Right.
films. He loves Transformers.
Probably me,
Bumblebee.
though, I was right.
It'll be good for him no
Bumblebee.
matter what. But people really
Bum-
watching it. To
No,
watch it.
he's not looking forward to
It'll be
this
fucking
one. He
garbage.
doesn't like the fact that they're transforming into animals. He loves,
What?
He
the
doesn't know about
trucks and the
Beast Wars.
art
Beast
Oh,
Wars
you
cars
don't know
and
about
stuff
Beast
like
Wars
that.
then.
Beast
Like,
Wars
know
is
that
the
was-
shit.
yeah,
I got a
that-
feeling
that-
if you watch Beast Wars today, like if you watch the original cartoon, he'd probably like it, but he might be a little off. He might be a little off of it based on the CG because the CG it was 90s CG.
It was,
Oh,
it was
no.
good. Beast
good.
Wars was good though.
See,
Dude, that's what I
Beast
said.
Wars
We
is still
got
a hit.
different visuals to this, but
Yeah.
when you're trying to introduce a new audience into these films,
Yep.
they're not going to look that great just because of one, how the graphics are, and how everything is so digitalized. Like it's so in your face now. Like if you think of Transformers introducing a truck or something like that, I think it was relatable for fans to be like, hey, this would be a pretty cool film. Like we're seeing a 16-wheeler just transform into a big giant robot. If you're a fan of Power Rangers, right there's your Go Power Ranger morph Zord right there, proof right in front of you. Like
Maybe
it's
they can
those
get
little
that right.
things.
Well, like I guess like I said, my problem with these films is for one, it's a Transformers movie. A lot of these Transformers movies, they focus too much, just like that first Godzilla
They
movie.
had to have their main character.
And- and
yeah.
Yeah, on the
2014.
characters. That's true.
It was more about the humans. Like, no,
Yeah.
I didn't come here for like I like Shia LaBeouf and I like looking at Megan Fox. I didn't come here for that. I
Yeah.
came for Optimus Prime, and I got some Optimus Prime and said, "Oh no, I once helped King Arthur." I said, "What? You, huh? You helped King Arthur?" And also, I got one
I had
question. for
Frederick
Michael Bay.
Douglass
I got
as a
one
Transformer.
question for you, Michael Bay. I got one question for you, Michael Bay. If Optimus Prime can help King Arthur, why the fuck he ain't help the slaves? I need answers.
Damn, Jay, you you go like the race with a lot of shit, yo. I would have said about you.
No, I need answers.
Damn.
Because he went from he helped the Vikings, he helped King Arthur.
Me and Brian on this visual.
I don't be paying attention to race like that, bro. Like you can't
That's what I
nitpick
keep
like
telling
that,
people,
bro.
man. It's like,
That's too much.
it's just how people visual stuff nowadays.
Nah,
Like,
I mean, it's not.
it
It's
is
not.
what
I
it
mean,
is.
it's not all the way, but I mean, you can nitpick at 1,000 different things. But if you're gonna, I mean, if you can't look at, especially like crazy action, fucking aliens and stuff like that. I mean, for the most part, I understand. I definitely
They're
agree with like the
discriminated
script and
Elvis. They
stuff
had
like
their
that.
hair like this. Like,
But
screw
when
them.
when it comes to like like telling like a story and stuff like that, you definitely want to have a good cast. I do agree with you, like you said with Godzilla, where they was focusing so much on the fucking people, and you didn't give a damn about them. Like
Saw Godzilla for 10 minutes.
I'm looking for Godzilla to fight and do
Any
shit or
freaking
whatever.
film with him in it.
That's
I
why
did
that's
not
why
care for
the
him.
other ones were so much better, bro. Like even
Yeah.
the King Kong, the first one with Brie Larson and all that in it, like that was good, yo. The Skull Island or whatever, even though Kong wasn't in it the whole movie, but they had the bugs and it was fucking good. It kept you entertained. But I don't like watching movies where the narrative is kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, like that's the thing. I just feel like, and
No.
also
Or
before
the
anybody
script
says,
was fucking Mortal
and before
Kombat.
anybody, and before anybody
Focus on
comments,
a character that nobody's ever fucking heard of for a series. Like the show was great. The new one that they had was cool, but I was trying to figure out why this Scorpion kid was like the main character. Like,
He was supposed to
why
be
is he
the
there?
avatar for the audience, and
Yeah.
it kind of made
Yeah.
he was boring to me.
yeah,
like I was like,
I
bruh, like
what are y'all
this
talking
is
about?
the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in Mortal Kombat form. Like, what the hell?
Latest Mortal Kombat.
look, I would just say
The newest
and also-
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
the
shit
newer
was.
one.
Y'all didn't like that?
hell,
No, I'm
Wasn't
saying
that we
the,
didn't like
that fucking
Scorpion's
movie was good,
nephew,
bro.
or whatever the hell he was.
Oh,
Yeah,
talking about Cole Young?
they definitely told a different story,
Turned
but
into a bunch of
that
spikes.
fucking movie was good, bro. The
I
action
was
and
like,
shit in it.
no.
That
That shit
first
was
7
good.
minutes of that movie was like the
Oh, that shit was
like
nasty.
the best ever.
7 minutes.
I'm like,
It was
oh, you
incredible.
for a treat. And then when the rest movie,
Bro.
you know, I like,
Opening, that dude just sitting there slicing the damn skulls out of these dudes' brains. I'm like,
Bruh,
damn,
the end
we
scene
getting into it.
when my man finally got his fucking, I do agree that like he's like a new character, like nobody ever fucking seen him or whatever.
They
It
didn't
would have been
really
nice
do
to
much with him. He
get some
was,
characters, yeah.
Hashtag, y'all
But at the end when he was
that
fighting
Johnny
Goro
Cage, man.
and he sat there and got his armor and shit, bro, that movie was beast. And he ripped
His-
Goro, did the fatality
his-
shit. Come
his
on,
Goro is
power
not the
was
type of person
literally
to
good,
bring out
yo.
like that.
his power was literally plot armor. That was literally his power.
I mean,
That man took a beating to get that
got
shit
amped up,
to him.
bro. Got his shit. They was threatening his family. He was like, "Fuck this." The scene with Sonya Blade and
Yeah,
and
laser in his eye. Sonya had pretty little badass hands or whatever.
they was
This
kicking
boy
ass.
getting a damn stick figure, like Groot just came in and morphed into this guy. Like, here,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was,
I mean,
Super
they might
Groot.
have did better, but I thought it was good. I still thought it was good. I'm looking forward to the second one.
They're working on the
I
second
just
one.
don't understand the guy's scenario because when I was watching the film, like, is it Scorpion's kid? Like, who is this kid that everybody's so
Yeah, it was
Descendant.
it was Scorpion. What wasn't it Scorpion's kid?
He was
Because
part of
Scorpion
the
had
lineage.
died.
The descendant of the
The
family.
Lin,
his
the Lin
nephew, I
Kuei
thought.
and the what's it called? They're fighting. They're like it basically told the story of Scorpion and Sub Zero and shit. That was like the story that I was going after.
That shit
Yeah,
I think it
nice.
was
I
also
loved
like
how
that-
they introduced the legit Scorpion in that
Yeah.
film. I
Oh,
will
yeah.
say that.
Collar's a thinker. Jason is a talker. Warren is the I'll say whatever guy. And Brian is a navigator.
but like, but also before anybody comments, I don't care. Like, I was just playing by the slave thing. Hollywood, don't you dare make that movie. I do not want. I do not really
They're
want
gonna
that
make the most
movie.
racist shit for you to talk about now. Here, black guy. You want to talk about? You're
Go-
gonna make fucking white people driving black people. They're gonna do everything
Goddamn
backwards.
Uncle Remus as the main character.
They're going back to Aunt Jemima. They're doing all of that shit. Uncle Ben, all that shit.
Uncle Ben,
Hollywood,
the
I'm fucking
dialogue
around.
series.
Hollywood, I'm fucking around. I really don't want that.
Be on your Amazon Prime TV show.
But
near
yeah,
you.
back to what like Fast and Furious though. One thing I would say that is a huge like that bothered me in this movie. The ending is so abrupt. It like they said, how much money time we got? 20 minutes, $10. All right, y'all got 20 minutes to wrap this shit up. 'Cause from the time Jesse died, they said the time this died. Well, we gotta go kill Jesse Tran, and then Dom gotta get away and get this 10-second car. Like, huh? It legit ended like every 70s and 80s action movie. Just an abrupt ending with no real solution. Just
I'm trying to get on Jay's page, man. I don't know why I disagree with you so much right
I
now.
want to agree.
70
with
and
you, but it's
80s,
not.
bro. You
Like,
crazy? Yo, Commando.
no,
fucking Terminator.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about the B movies. I'm talking about the B movies. I'm
like,
talking
we don't
about
even remember type title movies.
yeah. Like,
I'm trying to remember one to fucking relate to.
Now I'm thinking to myself, what would this be like if it had like a mixture of a 70s and 80s soundtrack? Like give me some 70s funk.
Highway to
Some 70s
the
funk, and then go
dangers
right
of-
into
There goes
80s
Dom.
I can't
you
even
would
think of that.
you get a mixture of Taxi Driver.
Oh,
You get a
man.
mixture of
You want to know
Commando.
something? Yo, listen to this shit. Like one thing I've been doing is I've been getting back into the gear of the show and everything like that or whatever. And I've been watching a lot of movies, yo. I've been watching a lot of movies, and Netflix
Right.
recently put out Two movies that are classics, considered classics that I've never watched before. And Reservoir Dogs was one, Quentin
That's
Tarantino.
back up there.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's
Heat.
back up there.
Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Heat. These are two fucking classic movies. Let me tell you something, bro. I watched both of these movies for the first time. Let me tell you something. They both suck.
Oh my god. I'm about to kick this man. No, you.
Let me tell you something. All right, listen. Let me explain at least, before you fucking destroy me.
Boy, he
Reservoir
sold that
Dogs.
so
I
good.
think
and then he goes,
I
"They
think these
both
movies
suck."
have these movies have literally built up. I think a reputation just off of their status, I guess. Because
You got
if you
Jason
really watch the
Snell,
movie, the shit is not good. Reservoir Dogs was Quentin Tarantino's first feature film. It literally took place in a fucking warehouse. The whole movie, okay?
Yeah, it's a bottle film.
It's a
It
bottle
was
film.
boring. It was fucking boring.
Look at Jason's face right now.
Until
You
that
see
dude
the
started
rage in
cutting
this
up that
man's
fucking
eyes
guy.
going right now. Look at how red that man's eyes are seeing.
I'm saying
You
in,
just heard a
in
emotional
Rambo,
scream to
in
him.
according to the 80s and 90s movies and shit like that I've watched my whole life, Rambo, like I said, Terminator and Reservoir Dogs, get the fuck out of here. Dusk Till Dawn, listen, bro, Dusk Till Dawn, that's the
You can
shit.
still watch that. To
But
this
motherfuckers
day,
talking
it
about
still looks
Reservoir, I watched that shit, I'm like, yo, let me see what the hype is. And then I watched Heat, and Heat's like 3 fucking hours long, like it's Guardians of the Galaxy and shit. And literally the whole movie is it's cool, I guess, like, oh, it's a smart criminal, blah blah blah. But they've made like 40 of them shits in the last 20 years that were better than that shit in an hour and a half. I don't know, bro. I think that a lot of times these movies be carrying on their legacy by their status that people give them by accident and shit. They're not good movies, in my opinion.
We know.
Yeah, everybody's got different. Everybody's got
Entertainment is
different tastes.
subjective.
You know,
Entertainment is subjective.
everybody's got different tastes. You know, like
Yeah.
it's very much like sometimes when I'm watching a film, like when I'm watching a film with a friend and we're like discussing it, or we're analyzing something we're watching, like an anime or something, he will say, sometimes he just wants to turn his brain off, and I don't like that. I never like that phrase because I can't.
How do you do it?
Because I can't do it. I'm like there's so much, especially the older I get, the more I start analyzing the stuff I used to do as a kid, or the stuff that we used to get away with as kids, especially on TV. But also keep in mind that a lot of stuff we watched back in the day, especially cartoons, were commercials for toys.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
So when we
shit.
talk about
Love it.
everything from when we talk about everything from Ninja Turtles to Transformers, the only reason why we're thinking about it in that way is because they have done like different versions of those series, and every one they have some sort of story, they have some sort of breakdown, they have something that makes you care about what you're watching. Like for example, Transformers. My favorite Transformers anything is probably Transformers Prime. If you ever watch a series, watch Transformers Prime. You want character development, watch Transformers Prime. Heck, they've even done some stuff on Netflix. Good stuff. Ninja Turtles has a legacy going from 1985
That's my
to now.
shit right there.
So yeah, word. It's like everybody has their own way of looking at things, but when you're looking at a franchise that has spanned like 30, 40 plus years, look at people who still watch. I'm not a horror fan. I'm gonna just tell you this right now. I am not a horror fan. But I know
here that watches horror films. It's so
There you go.
weird.
But
Keep
I
it
know
going, Warren.
people-
Keep it going. That
So
was
but I know
me.
people
I've been watching
that
horror
stay
movies since I was
watching the
fucking
Halloween
3 years
films,
old.
that stay watching the Jason films,
Bad
that stay
shit,
watching
too.
Chucky films, that stay watching freaking Freddy. All of those films that probably should have ended a long time ago, but are still in people's heads. They're still going, because
like
they're
the
like,
Fast
you know
and
what?
Furious.
And
Yeah.
Fast and
Fast and
just like
Furious
Fast
is
But they
a
don't
little
have
bit more-
family, Warren. They don't
Yeah.
have family.
Fast and Furious is a little bit more direct, I think.
All
But
the
yeah,
scary films.
You are right.
And tell me if this is crazy. All the scary films are all based off of demented mama boys. Mama boys that were mistreated or drowned or somebody was picking on them or something. Jason, crazy ass mama boy. First one, his mom was the killer. And then all of a sudden he decided to develop himself, and like, God forbid, Jason's still apparently alive and well, still going on to this day. I mean, it's so crazy. Like when you watch these films, and like you know how we used to say, you know, bad guy is bad guy, good guy is good guy. Now it's like,
You're over here. You're over here praising the bad guy. Like how many videos do you see today where people count down the best kills? You know.
Oh
here's
shit!
the
I
thing.
mean, yeah, you definitely still do.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you know,
especially these
back,
damn Mike Myers films. My gosh.
Exactly.
Fucking
like here's the
phenomenal.
thing about movies
You know, the last one was
nowadays.
ass.
Like, here's
I
the
was
thing
so mad about that one. Like, dude, he's finally gone, but you couldn't give us something better than that? Like,
no.
come on.
Money.
If y'all watch my review, which go watch that review, I
Yeah.
gave that new movie. I said, you know what? It started off as you know, a buttery on my scale. But when I got to the end and when they actually killed the person that was going to hold the mantle, and then they gave me an old people fight, I said that movie's a fuck you.
For 20 seconds. For 20 seconds, it was an old people fight too. It wasn't even an old people fight. It was an old people scuffle.
Yeah, I was just like,
It was an old people. It was an old people disagreement.
yeah, and like just
You should have just had him in a mental home, literally just sharing oxygen masks before they throw a punch
Bro,
at each other.
like you said, Jay, like literally these motherfuckers, they built up a storyline for an entire movie, a conclusion movie as well, and then they fucking dropped it at the end of the fucking movie. It didn't even build onto it. He just died.
Yeah. And then,
I thought they were going to transfer the mantle and like, oh, this guy
That's what
became
I
Michael
wanted.
Myers.
that's what
And I'm like,
that's what
okay, at least I would have
wanted. 'Cause you
understood
cannot-
that.
Michael Myers was
That
legit.
shit was horrible.
They legit had. They said in that
I
movie,
thought Jamie Lynn Curtis was going to die in this film. Like, the way that she
Michael Myers-
announced everything. Like,
Michael Myers was old as shit. They confirmed it in the movie. He's old. He's being broken down. I said, cool. Let's give it to this new character. Like, okay, I can see that. Then it said, fuck that. He got to die. We got to see two old people fight. I said, no, I
In the
don't want that.
kitchen.
I don't. I'm getting it.
Fucking
But like,
retarded.
just to wrap everything back around, talking about why people love the villains more. If you think about in this movie, Dom and his crew are the villains.
They are the bad guys that are good. Yeah,
it was like a mob type feel. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
just like in
Italian
wrestling.
mob
the-
type
The
scenario.
bad guy that's good, that's gonna get the most over, man. It's
Yeah. Yeah, like they're criminals,
man.
and like, but we learn to love these criminals. Like I said, now to be honest, also they didn't help that the FBI head and the police chief, they were just dicks. Like it also didn't help. They
often are. Like that's the whole
True.
point. You motherfuckers like you know, most of the time, if you think about it, man, the people who are in charge or the head people or whatever, they're usually the people that people don't like. You usually like the people who are outgoing and wild and like to do shit. And it's the same way that they portray in the movie. That's why it's a good storytelling situation when you're doing it that way. The bad guy's always getting over. And then when the bad guy's not getting over, it's because he's a true bad guy and he's doing shit that's like discriminatory, and you're not even like, you can't even connect with him.
Yeah, but also, I want to point out something. Yeah, we did
Oh,
mention that
Monica.
we did mention that Ja Rule was in this movie, and I'm not gonna lie.
He
I'm not
called
gonna-
Monica.
He's a character in his own.
I'm not gonna lie. Ja
right
Rule
now.
has one of my favorite lines.
He
in
was
this
a
movie.
good ass actor.
This was
Ja Rule?
This was my favorite.
What was that
lines.
one movie he did with Steven Seagal? I love
Fucking
that.
horrible.
damn film.
Listen, Warren. If
The
I would
prison
shut your
one?
mic off right now. That shit was
The
fucking
prison
horrible.
one?
Half-Past Dead. That shit is one of the worst movies Steven Seagal ever was a part
No,
of in his
you
life.
like Tokyo Drift. You have no room to talk.
Fuck that. Tokyo Drift is fucking.
So you didn't like the Steven
Titanic
Seagal one, the
compared to
prison
that.
one? I always
shit-
loved
that
Steven
shit was
Seagal
horrible, bro.
movies, so that was.
Oh
something
shit,
for
me too. Out for Justice, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death. Listen, I fucking love Steven
No, what's
Seagal
that
movies.
one that he did with the
What?
prison? Half Past Dead. I think that
Half
was
Past Dead.
the one with DMX, wasn't it?
Nah. The one with DMX was Exit Wounds. That was
Oh,
good.
Exit Wounds. I
And
love
Michael
that.
John
one.
White.
But like I said,
Oh yeah, that's my
Michael
shit.
J.
Kung
White's
Fu
still
and
good.
karate. That's my shit
like
right
I
there.
said, but like I
I'm
said,
surprised
Ja
he
Rule-
never was in the Fast and the Furious, like as a villain or something.
Give
like
it time.
Michael
Steven
J. White.
Seagal.
Give it time.
Steven Seagal could have
Asshole.
They
been.
did put him in they did put DMX in like a Fast and Furious-esque parody.
Oh, that was fucking talking about that asylum boy. you talk about a studio that don't give a fuck. But Asylum said, "What's What's trending right now?
Let's go.
Godzilla versus King Kong versus Godzilla. Let's do
Yup.
monkey versus dinosaur boy.
Money. Let's get the asset from the Godzilla '90s film. Put that in there with gorilla CG and let's do it.
What the hell is that?
No.
I don't even know.
Oh,
What
dude,
Man, look.
you don't want to see it.
Asylum is a studio that legit got $10 to their name.
Yeah,
They-
I know Asylum.
They spent $2 on all they films.
They did a
Damn, for real?
parody. They did a
Man,
parody.
those films are so damn cheap. Those films are so.
I know Asylum films.
But yeah, y'all. But Ja Rule, like I said, Ja Rule he gave me one of my most favorite lines in this movie because I felt the hurt. I felt the man's hurt, man.
He
I
got
felt the.
he got distracted. All he was thinking of is this one's yours, whether you win or
Punani.
lose. But if you win,
That boy was
you
worried about them two girls. That's all
The
he
heck?
was worried about, bro.
Too much.
Hey, man. I felt his pain. That was great acting. I felt his pain.
Let me tell you something. If that was DMX, he would have got the girl.
It's because it's in his contract to get the girl.
If that was DMX, he would have got the girl. Okay.
But yeah, man. Like the thing about about this movie, it just
Rough Riders anthem for that one.
like
I know
think
shit.
about this
I
movie-
know shit about DMX like personally, like not before he was famous shit, and it's interesting. A lot
Yeah.
of these motherfuckers is interesting, yo. Got some pretty crazy backstories. Mary J. Blige too.
Yeah, like the thing about like
know
this
some
part
crazy
about this
shit.
movie is
I've heard
I
some
think-
of hers.
I heard some crazy
Yeah.
shit, yo.
like the thing about this movie is, for one, it feels kind of fresh after having CGI just thrown at my face in all these films. And when you realize after watching this first film, oh wow, they're actually using practical effects. Like now, they're not. All these people are in their 40s and 50s. They're not going to do any of the practical effects. Like they said, no, we're gonna put you in front of the green screen. You ain't gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be in no danger. But in the first film, like I said, it has a lot of tense moments. Like that truck heist, that was actually a very tense scene. I was like, oh man. I mean, I know you're gonna live, but I was still tense because you know if what's his name was gonna die because he was legit hanging from the truck by his arm.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's
man,
definitely got time. I mean, you know it's crazy now though, like like talking about it, like how we're talking about it, like we are in the last generation of where we're gonna have to worry about the celebrity being too old to be in the movie and shit like that or whatever. You know that, right? Like if you watch these movies now, like even what was the last shit I just saw? John Wick. I saw John Wick 4, which is fucking phenomenal. Another one that's like you gotta disbelief your own mind and shit, but it's really fucking good. But it's just like when you see like these, like you literally are watching these people with their faces, made up. It's all CGI and shit like that or whatever in a lot of the scenes. And it's crazy that the first one that I saw where I was like, okay, we're in another time period now, was Terminator Genesis. When, if you ever saw it at the beginning, they literally have the complete CGI Arnold Schwarzenegger from like fucking 92 and shit. In the beginning of the movie when he's going to kill, whoever, Sarah Connor, whoever.
no, that was Dark Fate you're talking about.
Dark Fate.
Yeah.
The latest one that they had did with the girl and everything like that or whatever.
Nice. I heard it was so bad.
Bro, it wasn't good. It wasn't good, but that CGI moment, bro, like I couldn't believe that they made him look that like it was him. It was fucking him
Like,
from
they've
1992
already-
basically.
Look, they've already said
crazy.
that once people die, they're going to use AI to read.
Oh, they
saying.
put in everybody's contract. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Like
We'll
and-
have all these the Batman from fucking the next 2 Batman movies that they make or whatever. If that motherfucker don't want to be Batman no more, we got your likeliness. We're gonna make you fucking Batman. We'll we'll be back. We'll have the stunt double and just put your face on his ass and hey, can't go wrong.
yeah,
Can't
but
go
like
wrong.
yeah, but just like I'm glad we all get to talk about this movie because like I said, like I said, I'm fresh off of just watching this movie again, like before the show, and I had a really good time. I had a really good time, and like, wow, this actually feels new compared to all the shit that we went through.
Yeah. Watching some
Like,
bullshit.
Can we,
Yeah,
talk,
bringing
can
it
we
back.
talk about another problem that these movies have, though?
What's that?
All right. So even though they have, after a while, the titling of these films make no like they suck. Okay, but
Fast
when
5,
you get-
Fast 8. Damn 8.
when you
I
get-
mean, it's
No, it was
pretty logic,
pretty-
right? At least you can
Pretty,
keep counting with
pretty
the numbers,
straightforward.
right?
No,
after
it was
a while,
fast.
Fast Five.
after
No,
a
all right.
while,
It's the
after a
no,
while,
it was
so my
fast.
thing is-
It was fast. It was the Fate of the Furious. Then you had Fast 9, Fast Saga. Now that title was dumb. I like, huh? Fast 9, Fast Saga. What is it? What does that mean?
Fury and let's not. But here's the thing: if I ask somebody, how do you watch these movies chronologically? Because after Han's death, and then they bring him back, okay?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, hold up. When you first see him brought back, that's before he goes to Tokyo. That's before he decides to go to Tokyo, right? So chronologically,
No, it wasn't before they went to Tokyo. It could have been before they went to Tokyo.
No, because he tells
Remember, they
tells
showed
Gal
the scene
Gadot.
where he did the death of it after he came back from Fast 5, because
He
after his
tells Gal
girlfriend
Gadot,
died.
I'm going to Tokyo. I'm going to like.
Wait, hold up. You make a good point because the fourth one.
That's what I'm
one
saying.
was-
They tiled in the two Fast and Furious, the Tokyo Drift one. That's what made that movie back good again, is because they reversed the roles
Okay. They
brought
after
it back,
Fast
yeah.
5
Okay,
and put it
we
into
about to do some
that.
math here. Okay, we about to do some. Okay, so I'm assuming.
I have to rewatch it. I haven't watched that shit in so long. I don't have like a fresh memory of it.
I'm just assuming. Okay, so I say it's 1 and 2. No, wait. Yeah. Okay, it's 1 and 2. We got Fast Furious 1 and 2.
Yep.
Then we got. I think it's 4 next, because I think that's when the group is like
That's
like
where
the
they
two
assembled the
brothers,
group. Yeah.
like the two brothers, Han and Gal Gadot's character was. I forgot she was in the goddamn franchise. That's what she's in.
Sexiest.
Not mad about it either.
I'm not mad. Look,
Fine as
I'm
shit.
not mad about it
Gal
either.
Gadot did her thing.
All I
Yeah,
ask is,
she had titties in that movie. I don't know what happened to him after that shit.
So okay, so we got 1, 2.
Just
We
being
got
real.
1. We got 1, 2.
Flat chested for the rest of her fucking life. But in that
Okay.
movie, she had like titties. Like it was, you saw them through the shirt
how
and
dare
everything.
you talk about
But in Wonder Woman,
like
the
that.
titties, I wondered where they went.
To our female
was
viewers,
a
we do
good
not
one.
objectify women.
I love women. I loved her titties. I still do.
He said, "I love women. I love women." It's like Groundhog Day. They just disappeared for that day.
Brian just had-
They
Brian just looked at
CGI'd
the
her titties in that movie. That's what it was.
Man, we all see a movie with Gal Gadot with someone with big titties. Brian, you
Yeah,
like
that's
the
why
movie?
they killed her
All
character off,
day.
Brian.
I like it.
All fucking day.
But yeah,
Gal Gadot.
okay, so we got
That's
1
why
and 2.
Han was eating all the time, because he was trying to figure out where her titties were.
Yep. He was puzzled.
Okay,
He
so-
was confused.
They did have good chemistry together, though. I like
Yeah.
them together.
They did.
Yeah.
But it was so
So we
funny.
got-
She was hooked up with Dom first, and then all of a sudden, her and Han started getting together
Right.
and stuff like that. It was different. I thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
So okay, so we got 1 and 2. We got the Fast
The
and the Furious.
first two, yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious. Fast and Furious. That's the fourth one. So
You see
would
what I mean about the titles?
would it be 5? Wait, would it be Fast 5? Would Fast 5 be the next one?
Which one? Which one are you trying? What did you? which
Okay,
one were
so
you-
we're trying to figure out where 3 fits into all this, because I know.
Tokyo Drift was the third one. So
Tokyo Drift was supposed to be the last one, but it's not anymore. So
But the way that the timeline works,
yeah,
I don't know where to
Hold
put
on,
it. in
I'll
the
help y'all
timeline.
out. Let me look it up.
it was
Let me look
Fast
it up.
5
Thank you,
because
Vic.
when The Rock was in it, that's when they really started with Han and them.
Okay,
Because you remember that's how they build that the family, the new family together.
so would
was
it be
Fast
1?
5.
So would it be 1, 2, 4, 5, 3?
All right, so it looks
Just
like.
for that one part.
Let me see here. Chronological, whatever. What a stupid word.
chronological.
Chronological. There you go. All right, so the first movie in chronological order is the Fast and the Furious. That's number 1. The second one is Too Fast, Too Furious. The third one is wait a minute. The second one is the turbocharged prelude for Too
The
Fast,
fuck
whatever
is
the fuck
that?
that is. Man. They just
Oh,
added
no,
that for
I just saw that on the IMDb. I have never heard
Hold
of
on,
that.
what is
I
it?
think that's the
Is that even a
animated.
full movie?
Yeah,
Well, I think that's the animated thing
just some
that was on
bullshit.
Netflix. I think
It's
Oh,
not
it's,
animated,
no.
but it's
Oh.
just whatever. All right, so second one is Too Fast, Too Furious.
hmm
The there's another bullshit one. We ain't gonna say that one. The fourth one is Fast and Furious. That's the fourth
Okay.
one. The fifth one is Fast 5. The sixth one is Fast and Furious 6. The
How-
seventh
okay,
one
this
is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Hold on,
That's the seventh.
My brain
The eighth
hurts.
one is Furious 7. The ninth
What?
one is
Fast Ten-
Fate of the
Fast
Furious.
Nine.
Fate
Yeah.
and the Furious. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had they put Hobbs and Shaw in there. And then after that you had Furious 9 and then the new one is coming out.
Yeah. Oh, that my brain hurts. 'Cause that makes
So Tokyo Drift was technically the seventh one
The
in the
seventh
order
one, yeah.
standpoint.
Yeah, in the order
If
stamp
we're,
like
if we're trying to
we
stay
watched it,
within
it
the
makes sense for the-
timeline that they set up,
That's crazy. So it's like damn near almost the end of the series that really Tokyo Drift was.
Where they
Look,
fit
they're
the story
trying to
back in.
bury that movie as much as they
that's
can.
when that's like when they started doing more. That's when they.
Because that was supposed to have been the third one. Altogether, that's the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the third one that when it as far as it coming
Damn,
out.
that's
but,
crazy
yeah.
when you
It's
think
like,
about
just like
it
Iron
now.
Man and the cinematic universe and all that shit.
So-
I mean, it's all.
So it does make sense that they were in the eighth one because technically it wasn't a so far along scenario. Because now, if that was considered the seventh one, for them to be in the eighth one, that's like okay, just a little bit down the road. Even though they
Yeah.
looked really old.
They clearly aged. Like
Oh yeah, I mean obviously you can't say that they didn't age them.
Fucking-
You
Like,
ain't
when we-
CGI
when
and
we-
Bow Wow in them.
They got new phones and shit, and they got fucking flip phones and other ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
that's the fifth
Like
one.
I said, I
not.
know you don't like this term, Cal, but watching these movies, you really do gotta turn your brain off because you're gonna be doing too much damn thinking. Because you're gonna be like, hold on, if this is the seventh movie, why the fuck did y'all have more up to date devices in Fast and Furious 4?
Because realistically, you're watching stuff that they're just putting
This
together.
shit still have flip
Yeah,
phones.
it's just
Yeah.
average.
Actually, no. What was those T-Mobile phones that they used to have?
No, you're talking about the
Sidekicks.
Nokia.
The sidekicks.
Sidekicks.
That was in that film. The sidekicks
Oh, yes.
were the film. Was
Yeah.
the phone for that film?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like that. But
Those
like,
were
yeah,
cool,
y'all.
bro.
So just watching
Ridiculous
this
shit.
movie, watching the first movie is, if you don't, if you want like a palate cleanser, and want
It's
to
a
feel like
time
you're not on
machine,
drugs,
basically.
It's a time.
like a
machine.
time. If you want to feel like you're not on drugs anymore, watch this movie. Watch this movie.
They'll sober you up, you saying?
Yeah, so yeah, like if you want to feel like you're sober, watch this movie because this movie is like I said, I'm not shitting on the franchise. I love this franchise, but I would be a fool to say that this shit is not ridiculous. This shit is insane. They sent two brothers. They sent two Negroes to space in a Pontiac with a rocket strapped to the top, looking like minions.
These are look. This is basically anime logic. Okay, all of it is anime logic.
Anime has more logic than this.
If this was animated, none of us would care. Okay. If this was animated,
No one of us
now,
would have watched it if that's the
Yeah,
case.
I don't know if I'd watch it.
I would
think
still no.
it wouldn't be realistic enough for it would be too realistic for anime.
Man,
Right now, it's in that
Yeah.
awkward stage where it's like, it's cool because it's a movie, but you definitely have to extend your disbelief because these motherfuckers is literally. At one point, I think one of the parts was it was a rope swinging or something like that, and he had to get across
the
the bridge.
Tarzan car scene.
And he threw it, Tarzan,
The
and he made the
Tarzan
car
car
swing
scene.
on the thing, and come on, bro.
I thought that was one of the coolest, most unhinged things I've ever seen in this
Me
franchise.
and my girl were
the
watching that
craziest one
shit.
Where
We both
Dom
looked at
had
each other
Letty
when that
on the
happened.
car and he's holding her arm across
That
the
shit, too.
daggone car. I'm like, Dom, you ain't
Or
that
how
damn
about,
strong.
how
Just
about
keep
Hobbs
holding
and
Letty.
Shaw when The Rock is holding a fucking helicopter? And
He's the Rock. He's just that
Part of me
strong.
feels
With no
like he can
powers.
actually do that. Like part of me wants to believe he can actually do that. I've seen how much he lifts.
Me too. You know what really happened though, or even in Fake Land, what really happened? They'd have tore his ass in half.
Yep.
He'd have been
Yep.
the Rocks.
But just like we were talking about this earlier.
He was drinking more Terramine than usual
There's
for
some
that,
sort
that
of-
scene, okay?
Like there's some sort of rumor about his contract. Him and Vin Diesel and a few others. The contract goes like there's a clause in there where they're not supposed to get hurt, right?
Yeah, they don't fuck
They're not
around.
supposed to get hurt. They're not supposed to show too much blood, not too much pain, because they want to be seen as strong. And I'm like,
Believe
what?
it.
I mean, that's not bad. That's not a bad gesture, honestly. I mean,
Depending. That's why old boy, what's his name, Zach Levy or whatever, that did Shazam. That's why he was saying that they wanted to do Black Adam with Shazam, which I fucking am a little mad with The Rock for not allowing that to happen, because Shazam wound up being bullshit because he didn't have his villain. Shazam should have fought Black Adam,
that's James
but they
Gunn's
said
fault, though.
that The Rock didn't want to. He basically wanted to be the star of it, so you took fucking Black Adam,
Well,
who
look.
is a villain,
Look,
and they
I
made him
love
like he's a hero.
Look, I love The Rock. I love The Rock. He's charismatic. But y'all, I'm starting to see at this point, The Rock. Oh, he has a huge ass ego.
Ego, yeah, he
Because-
does.
Because
I love him. That's one of my favorite fucking people of
I
all
mean,
time.
you
but-
gotta think of it though. But if you
He
look
does
at
have
the
an ego.
past history of his Hollywood films, you can understand why he has that ego. Because you gotta look at the films. Be
Yeah,
Cool,
he's a
Tooth
beast,
Fairy,
bro.
all these damn things. Like,
He's a beast,
bro, you're not watching this film for those other characters at that time. You're watching it because The Rock's in the fucking film. Like,
Just like
in
Michael
good portion of
Jordan,
these
just
things.
like all the greats, bro. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from it, but I think the difference is The Rock has always been so beloved, and he still is. But I think that the actual facts are kind of coming out around a character that we all looked at like he was so wholesome, but now you're starting to see, hey, there is some other shit with him. Like, he's
Oh.
not. He's still.
oh,
he's
trust
still
me, I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of people hate.
actor, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of people hate The Rock after Black Adam. But I see,
Yo, Black Adam was good.
Black Adam was good. I don't
bro.
know why y'all are
Tripping.
mad about
Nah,
that.
Black
I
Adam was good.
really want to know why people are
I don't
so
like the
upset about
story. I don't like the story because
Look-
Black Adam's a fucking villain, and I don't think that he should have got a standalone. But the same way, I don't feel like
Yeah, I
Venom
mean,
should have
Black
a
Adam
standalone.
is a villain.
But Black Adam's a villain, like one of the worst kinds too. He's not like even like kind of
Yeah.
a good one.
My
He's
thing,
fucking
I will
okay,
say this: out of Black Adam, I was really shocked about Pierce Brosnan. Pierce
Look,
Brosnan
yeah.
did a great
Dr.
freaking.
Fate,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
he was the best part of the movie to me. The thing about Black
Dr.
Adam
Fate was good.
like the thing about Black Adam was the movie probably would have did well in the early 2000s because it legit felt like a generic superhero movie from that time. But it's like so much. We get a superhero movie every other month. So if you're not bringing anything new, that's why the boys, Invincible, they're so beloved because
Invincible.
they're doing something new. They actually show what
That's fucking.
happens.
That's Watchmen 2020, bro. Like that's what the boys is to me.
That is the best reference.
Pretty
for
much.
That. Yeah,
That shit
that's
is
the best
Watchmen, yo.
reference for it.
The Watchmen show should have lasted longer than it did.
Yeah, I was surprised with that too. I wanted to watch. I didn't even get into it, but I was hearing good things about it. And the Watchmen
My
movie
cousin was trying to get me to watch it forever, and then it got cut, and then it just got.
but like I said, it's kind of hard. That's why a lot of these films, just to me, this is just my opinion. A lot of these films, especially Marvel, they don't hit the same because it's like you're not
Marvel
doing
got
nothing
Disney.
new.
Marvel
You're
got
not-
Disney the fuck out, bro. That's Marvel's
you're
problem
not-
to me.
Like you're not doing nothing new. Only reason why I like Guardians is because wow, it's actually a villain that I don't have to feel sympathy for. I actually hated him. He was a
What,
piece
in
of shit.
the new one? In the new one?
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah,
see. I
I
didn't see the
haven't
new one
watched it
yet.
yet.
Yeah, I want to watch.
Yeah,
I want to
but-
watch it.
yeah, but like to me, that's good because instead of me feeling sympathetic for a villain, I don't know why I got to feel sympathetic. He's a fucking villain. He's evil.
Yeah.
The dude's straight evil.
Quill, I know Quill was labeled as the villain after Infinity War for a
He
good
is.
portion, man.
Fuck him.
Should've
My
been.
I
mom,
will always.
my mom hated him after
Stupid,
that
bro.
damn movie, bro.
He
That
is
shit
the
was so
reason
dumb.
why I got dusted. Fuck
Bro,
Quill.
after Endgame came and you saw and everybody's cheering for all the guys coming back, when Quill came in, they're like, "Fuck
Oh yeah,
that
boy,
asshole!"
they booed the shit out of him.
Jacked everything up.
I was like, "Boy,
Hey.
they got Dominic Mysterio over here, just straight heat coming out of that." I was like, "Damn,
But yeah, man.
boo!" Everybody else. You
But
should've
like I
stayed
said,
away.
man, we getting off track. But this is a very fun conversation. I'm having fun. But like, just back to these movies. But like we said, so many of these movies have so many big stars in these movies.
Yeah.
Like, I would like at first. Well, we're probably not going to see it now because of the backstage politics. We got to see Vin Diesel and The Rock on the same screen. Probably never gonna see that again, but we got to see that.
You mean in the same movie or on the same screen?
But
I've
yeah,
heard
well, on the same
something of that, but
in the same
I
movie.
don't
Now,
know.
like in the movie, they apparently they weren't even in the same shot together because they hate
They
each other
weren't in
so
the same room for like half their scenes.
Yeah,
I heard.
yeah. Like they had to superimpose them inside the. And once again, it came to The Rock because a lot of people were saying he was unprofessional. Like I think, didn't Tyrese and The Rock have beef for a while?
Yeah,
For a
Tyrese and
little
Rock
bit.
did too. Vin
Yeah.
Diesel,
For a little
Tyrese, yeah.
bit. And then he went on the record saying, "Why are you breaking up the family, man? Why are you breaking up the family?"
Hey, I heard Tyrese did exactly what MGK did after Eminem called him out. Like literally just ran off.
Man, I'm
Oh
not.
yeah, shit. I wouldn't fuck with The Rock.
The Rock's a big fucking dude.
I wouldn't fuck with none of
Tyrese
them
gonna
niggas.
have a big nipple on his head if he
Man,
messes
hey,
with that
hey,
guy.
I'm like, Rock, hold on real quick. Let me go to my trunk real quick. I'll be right back. Like, I'm not fighting that man.
You're gonna come out with a Hulkbuster suit before you.
No, no, ain't no Hulkbuster. I got my
Fuck that
best friend.
Hulkbuster suit.
No, it ain't gonna be no Hulkbuster. I got my
You know you're
best
gonna have to
friend.
get like 2 shells in that man. That's Black
No,
Adam over there.
Look, ain't
My
no
boy- my-
Hulkbuster. Look,
my
ain't no
boy played out
Hulkbuster. I got
Hulk.
all I need. I got all I need. Smith and Wesson. That's all I need.
Oh man.
I'm not fighting. But
And
yeah,
a
man.
country boy too, so you gotta watch out.
Hey, now think about it, boy. He might eat the bullet, break the gun, and beat my ass with the gun. So that might not be.
You know what's crazy? Even though he's what's it called? I never really thought about this, but you know, The Rock lives literally like maybe 20 minutes from me.
Oh,
I
really?
think yeah.
In
He's
Georgia,
in Powder.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
in Powder
right.
Springs. Well, I'm in Austell, but I'm in Austell, Powder Springs, and The Rock's
Okay.
mansion is in Powder Springs, like right
Oh,
down the street
okay.
from me somewhere. It's
But-
crazy. It was
I
right
just
the fuck
bought a
down.
house in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I know he got a huge house out here, man. It's just fucking
Yeah, but like
humongous.
now I think like if y'all think about just this franchise, like okay, just to wrap the review up so we can just talk about random shit. For me, if y'all don't know my scale, it's a fuck you, it's the lowest one you can get. It's fuck you, burn is just bad. It's just bad. Fuck you just insults your intelligence. Burnt, you got store bought, which is something you buy in the bargain bin. You got buttery, which is good. Then you got movie theater, which see in the movie theater. Then you got gourmet. It's the best of the best. For me, this was like a low buttery bordering on movie theater. 'Cause like I said, this movie is good with the practical effects. Just the set pieces are amazing. But like I said, the downside of and the characters are lovable. But my downside is the acting is not that good. Paul Walker. I used to try and defend Paul Walker to the depth of the earth because I loved Paul Walker. But then I watched a lot of Paul Walker and like, fuck, he's not really that good at delivering
Whatever
lines.
did he do? I don't even know. Like Paul, what the fuck was he in besides Fast and
He was
Furious, yo?
he was in
Dirty
he-
shit.
He was in like all those little chick flick films.
yeah, he was in
Bullshit
Into the
movies.
Blue. He was in Into the Blue. All that. I'm say all that. She's all that.
Oh, way after Fast and
Yeah,
Furious. I
yeah.
think.
Joyride.
She's
Brick
all that. Yeah,
Mansion.
damn, he wasn't. She's all that.
He was,
Yeah,
yeah, he was in. He was the
a
one, the
stooge.
best friend that made the bet.
He was a
Yeah.
stooge. Yeah, it wasn't even like anybody.
Like I said, he was like a prom king in like all the other
Yeah,
films.
so,
that he was
like-
in.
Yeah, he ain't really never been in shit, really.
Yeah,
I know,
like, Paul
I know the
Walker,
movies he's been in, but Time Machine and he hasn't fucking really done anything real.
So
Like,
like I said,
Do
the
y'all
acting's
still-
really.
Vin Diesel was like the main character before Paul Walker passed away because I think it was Paul Walker was main character for a
Well,
good
no,
portion.
in the fourth
not.
one.
I mean, but Vin Diesel really was the main character. Like,
Yeah.
he was the main guy. Period.
But I'm just saying, like, if you think like longevity wise, Paul Walker's been in more films at that time, in
Yeah.
the earlier time than
Then
Vin Diesel.
So the thing
If you got to
was,
think Too Fast, Too Furious, Vin Diesel wasn't in that one.
yeah.
Nah,
so
not
the
at
thing,
all.
so the thing about it was, Paul Walker was basically the main player in the first movie, the second movie, and really the fourth movie because they focused on him and Braga. But then remember, Vin Diesel, he was in a lot more movies that made money at the box office. Like the Riddick films, Brian may not like them, but they made money. Like
Yeah.
they made
Love
money.
sci-fi.
Yeah, so that's when they decided. Well, Vin Diesel, he's the bigger movie star. So bigger in both senses. So they said he's the main character, and now it's all about family. And now we just keep adding the family. Like this movie has added the John Cena, Roman Reigns for whatever reason in that Hobbs and Shaw movie. I still don't get that. I still don't get why.
I thought it was kind of boring, but
mean,
it was. I liked what they did. I mean, it wasn't bad.
I think what Rock was going for, and I think, and you don't see a lot of a lot of movies go for it, is tradition. And
Right.
seeing Samoas and stuff like that. You don't really see movies where they would get introduced like that. I thought Roman did really good in that role.
I thought
Obviously,
they all did. I thought they all
like
did.
I liked Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
played
gonna
it.
lie. I don't care.
It
Like,
was okay.
I like
It was
Hobbs and Shaw.
okay, man. It
Hobbs
was
and Shaw
I will say
okay.
this.
Hobbs and
Rock
Shaw was
actually made Jason Statham was great as a dance partner for Rock in that film. I thought they were a good connection. Like how we talk about Tez and Rowan or Rowan, whatever his
Where's
name
their
is.
movie at?
Huh?
Where's
Can you
their
imagine
movie at?
what theirs
Tez and
would be?
Rowan?
I want a Tez and Roman.
That's what they should have done. See, now this would have made it interesting if they were flying in space. Made a whole scenario of them in the space doing some other dumb shit. If those two were together,
they
it
found the
would have made it.
Transformers.
It would have been something interesting.
Transformers.
Tell me if it would. If they could have
Hey,
done like a
Steel.
little mini series or something, just them
Hey, I'm
about them
telling
being
you.
in space.
Hey,
Make
I'm
that
telling you.
something in just a gesture.
Yeah, they
know
could do
what?
like a short because those two stay arguing. So it's like, hey,
Exactly. You're just gonna want to watch it just for the damn debate
Man,
for
look.
both of them back and
it'd be
forth.
like
the
it'd
banter.
be like mom and dad arguing during a road trip.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, just because like this is my fever dream, but what you just said, like have that movie just be them adventures in space. If you ever want to tie Transformers to it, they come across the
I dare you.
Shit,
Go,
Tyrese is in it.
go
He's
right
already
ahead. Yeah, he's
already in
I
already-
it.
don't know if Luna's in it yet.
Lose, man.
Coming from space.
Like, yeah, Dom, we found this cool ass thing that can shape into anything that we want.
I swear, if the last Fast and Furious goes in with
Yeah.
Transformers,
I will literally unwatch every fucking one that I've ever watched.
I will
that,
be
that
like,
car
Holly-
that they were in.
I'll make
if they
myself.
do that, I guarantee you Vin Diesel's going to be the voice of Optimus Prime because he's got to be
I'll
the
tell you
main
right
guy.
now. Look, I love stupid shit. I love stupid movies. Give me that. Look, we got a writer strike. Holly, if you need a writer,
Listen, I'll write
I'll
right
work-
now.
I'll
I'll write
work
right the
for
fuck now.
$25.
But
write
if
all
you
of
think
that
about
shit
it,
right
if they
now.
did like an alternate ending where Tez and Roland are in space or something, it would be fucking hilarious.
It
Just
would be.
hearing these two damn fools just going back and forth at each other. You the reason why we in this fucking tin can and all these damn things. Like they would just be hilarious for these two. And it could have been like a cool thing for them to actually come back at the end, in the alternate ending, and then boom, Fast 9, they come back in the opening of the film, be like, man, I'm finally out of this motherfucker. I got tired of his ass. I'm done with him. I can't deal with him anymore. Like, it would have been something funny because if anybody remember on Fast 5, you remember those, the two, I think it's the Mexican brothers or whatever. They
yeah.
always spent all the money that they would steal and stuff. They were the first ones to always be bankrupt. I watched that because of them two knuckleheads at first because they were hilarious. Like they would just argue all the time, just for something, no reason. They would just argue, and I mean that's what I got with Tez and Roland for a long time. I'm like, I'm waiting for a storyline where like they find out they're brothers or something. Like that would even be more weirder and funner for it. Like, that they would consider that for a role. That's the sad part.
Why not? Why not? We've done everything else, or every time I think we've done everything else, they try to say, "Oh, you know what? We're gonna outdo you." We did the Tarzan car this time. This time we're just gonna have two helicopters collide into each other. Do it. Yeah. Just
Okay, y'all. So we are done with the review portion. I was telling Kyle, I was gonna have ask each and every one of you what to give me something for a script treatment in Chat GPT, and we're gonna make our own Fast and Furious sequel.
Let's do this.
So I did mine first.
Tez and Roland in space. There we go.
I did mine first, right? I said, give me, because I've been talking about it, give me a Fast and Furious and Transformers crossover movie. Y'all want to hear the log line? Okay, we're going to start with the log line. When a powerful Cybertronian artifact lands on Earth, The Fast and Furious crew finds themselves in an epic race against time to prevent his fall into the wrong hands with the help of the Autobots. They must combine their skills and their speed to save the world from a threat like anything they have faced before. What's so bad, y'all? What's so bad about this? With this writer strike going on, I can see this happening.
Let me tell you something. That writer strike, that chat GBT shit, all that stuff, whatever, that shit about to put a lot of them motherfuckers out of business, bro.
Well, no,
I'm
I'm telling you right now. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, what it's not like this, this AI. It's so it like at this point it's dumb because you
Yeah.
still have to have somebody. You still have to have somebody feed into it.
Yeah, you do.
So and you're
But how
never
much
gonna,
longer is that going to be?
like I
we
said,
got a little bit before it becomes like unless we end up with a Skynet situation. There's
Bro,
like right now
Yeah, like,
it's already self-building, man.
it's getting
like-
it's getting there, but right now it's still in its teenage
yeah,
phase.
like AI is still in its infancy, and these like Hollywood's going to come to their senses because I don't know. Y'all remember the year 2007 when that writer strike happened?
Oh, yeah.
Remember how much dog shit we got around that time? We got
Yeah,
the
but
Dragon Ball.
it's a different time now, bro. It's different.
No,
I'm telling you right now, yo.
But whenever you take out the human element for writing these scripts and you try to have these directors try to do their own thing, you get a lot of shitty movies. Like we talked about it. Remember around that time in 2007, there was a lot of reality TV because of the writer's strike. There was a lot of movies that were made. The script was legit being made on the first day of shooting. That's why Quantum of the James Bond movie was
Quantum
bad.
of
Quantum of
Solace.
Solace.
Yeah.
That was
shit,
bad.
A lot
Dragon
of
Ball-
that, a
Dragon
lot
Ball
of these movies are
Evolution.
sucking, man. A lot of these movies a lot of these dialogues in these movies are losing dialogue, just like music is losing dialogue, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of stuff is losing, like you're saying, like the human touch and stuff like that. I don't know how much of a necessity the entertainment industry is looking at that shit. I think people looking at ways
Not.
to make things easier. I'm
that's the thing.
just saying, bro. Look
but
at
that's the
music
thing.
right now.
Movie
Look at
theaters are
music.
not
ones with the
drawing
most
money
money
like
are
how
just
they
looking
used
make
to
more
back
money.
then.
They're not worried about they're not worried about
Artists
the people
are
that
not
work
drawing
for
money from CDs anymore. Like albums, like bruh, how many times we used to have to buy an album and like how much money that people would get money off of those? Like it's so
But
crazy.
I actually just
to
mean
see
the
stuff.
actual, like I actually just mean the material, not even just
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
industry
saying. It's
part.
like it's so weird.
Just the
nowadays.
material. Like you, like
Well,
I'm pretty sure there's people out there right now probably already doing it, putting in fucking scripts and getting like AI scripts fed for them and shit like that or whatever. Come on, bro. Like, and we're talking about the AI that we are playing with, that we're playing with on TikTok and shit, not the actual stuff that motherfuckers with money really using. Like you know they got shit that's just literally like, whether they feed an idea, whatever it is. Hey, we want a monkey and a frog and a dog and a cat. Bam. And then monkey and a frog, dog and a oh shit, kids movie tomorrow. Make that shit fucking 5 minutes. And then
Well,
but you're paying
Walmart
motherfuckers
Animorphs
$130,000 a
coming
year.
back to you.
well, like,
Dead
here's
ass
the-
serious, man. We in a different era, bro. It's
Well, like, here's the
CGI.
thing.
Yo, check it out. CGI, AI shit. We're in it. You don't need motherfuckers to do shit as much as you did. You might need 5 fucking people when before you needed 500 people. I'm just being real. Catering, all the money that you're saving, all these businesses saving this money, you could go on a writer's strike. You can go on all this shit. Yo, we have to face facts. You're losing that human connection to almost everything that's involved in the entertainment industry at this point.
Well,
Just
well,
saying,
that's
bro.
Because, well, that's because okay, like the thing about it is the strikes like this is always happens when new technology gets introduced. Like 2007, it was really the era of the Blu-ray and digital sales. These Hollywood studios
Your
they
daughter
find ways. I just saw that too. Like
got a whole box. She was like, I'm out of here. I'm done with this shit.
but like the thing is, like when new technology is introduced, these studios were always going to try to find a way to undercut the artist. Like I'm a writer myself.
For sure.
I don't want that. Like I don't want that. But you say that it can go that way. It's been proven. They've tried to do it without the writers, and it's just done horribly because
Oh, yeah.
because AI is like AI. They only give you analytical and logistic number. Like, oh, this is what's trending and whatnot. That's going even if it's trending, it's going to be the most corny, cringy, most out of date movie you
For
will
sure.
see. Like I said, oh, and before we go on with that, before I ask for y'all's um for what y'all want to put in Chat GPT, I forgot they
This is
gave
what
me
was in that box.
That's a
wait
poor
wait
This
what
is
was
what I'm
it?
dealing with at a 4-year-old right now, guys. A 4-year-old. Like stuff like this. Look
My
at the
daughter would
teeth.
shit on herself. She saw
Sonic
that.
over here.
This is Sonic. Here,
Mhm.
picture of Sonic.
But
That's from that creepy pasta shit.
yeah, hey, but
Bro.
y'all, my bad. I'm gonna get y'all name,
Go.
but they gave me a synopsis for all three acts in the movie. I'm gonna read it
Damn.
real quick.
Hit it.
Take the
Okay,
pull up.
the movie begins with Dominic Toretto and his crew taking part in an intense street race in Los Angeles. At least they're getting back to street racing. Meanwhile, in a remote part of the galaxy, a powerful artifact known as the Allspark is launched from Cybertron, the home planet of the Transformers. The Allspark crash lands on Earth, causing a series of strange energy surges that catches attention of the Autobots and Decepticons. Optimus Prime, voiced by Peter Cullen,
Yes, yes.
dispatches Bumblebee and a small team of Autobots to investigate the energy readings on Earth. The Fast and Furious crew, including Dom, Letty, Roman, Tej, are approached by mysterious government agent Simmons, John Turturro, who reveals the existence of the Transformers and the threat posed by the Allspark. That's Act 1. Act 2. Dom's crew, reluctant at first, agrees to help Agent Simmons retrieve the Allspark before the Decepticons can find it. They're introduced to the Autobots who transform into their vehicle forms and impress the crew with their abilities. They just like them because they turn to nice cars. The team embarks on a globe-trotting adventure racing against Decepticons led by Megatron, voiced by Hugo Weaving. First of all, why are they
Why is
racing
Hugo weaving?
why are they racing the Decepticons? oh,
What
oh,
are we reading?
oh, oh,
Is
they,
this
oh,
Jason's written script over here? What is this?
It's Jet. It's
it's
Jason's
Chat
Chat
GPT.
GPT. The Fast and Furious Transformers crossover script.
They're racing against the Decepticons to get pieces of the Allspark. Along the way, the Fast and Furious crew and Autobots face an intense chase, high-speed heists, explosive battles against both Decepticons and corrupt human forces who seek to exploit the Allspark power. As the bond between the two groups strengthen, Dom and Optimus Prime develop a mutual respect, share a philosophy of family,
Mm.
loyalty.
Yo, you laugh. Yo, listen. Hey, Jay, you
You
laughing? You
laugh,
laughing
but
on
It
some
might be
real
a
shit.
film.
It's
It
actually
might
a
be a
really
film.
good fucking premise, yo. It's like if you seriously consider the fact that you just put in literally Transformers and Fast and Furious on some
And he
basic
gave
shit,
you all that
and
detail.
you got all of that information, and you're telling me that you don't think that they could take over the writing industry? Come on, bro.
Hold on,
That's
because
You still got to
incredible.
get
I mean,
dialogue. You still got to get proper dialogue for it and
I'm
scenes.
yeah,
I mean, the way that was just put together, I mean, I'm even listening to it. If I was going to write a Transformer, I mean, pretty much it would be about, that much. You would have to have some relatability to it.
but here's the thing, though.
It's crazy.
But
We're
here's the
laughing.
thing.
I thought it actually don't sound that
I
bad.
thought it was pretty good too. I was like,
Look,
oh shit.
look, like a lot of bad movies, the premise sounds nice, but you still need the human element to write that script. Don't, look, I'm telling you right now, I've tried to make many scripts in this AI. Boy, boy, first of all, don't put anything, don't put anything, make it 90s, because everything's going to sound like it's from MTV, from the MTV era. But hold on, that was the second act. The final act. The final act takes place in the remote military base where the last piece of the Allspark is being held. The Decepticons launch an all-out assault to seize the artifact. The Fast and Furious crew use their driving skills and customized vehicle team up with the Autobots to defend the facility and prevent the Decepticons from activating the Allspark. In a climactic showdown, Dom and his crew engage in a high-speed battle with Megatron while the Autobots fight off against the other Decepticons. With teamwork and sheer determination, Dom and the Autobots manage to defeat Megatron and secure the Allspark. In a bittersweet moment, the Autobots bid farewell to their human allies, promising to protect Earth and its people. Okay, so basically the end of every damn Transformers movie when Optimus Prime goes into space. Dom and his crew return to the street racing roots, grateful for the experience and bond they form with the Autobots. The epilogue, in the mid-credit scene, a new threat emerges, teasing a potential sequel that will further explore the Fast and Furious and Transformers universe. Here's the title, y'all. Fast and Furious Turbocharged Transformers.
Now that's stupid.
Combine
fucking
the
dumb.
high octane action and thrilling car stunts of the Fast and Furious franchise with the awe-inspiring spectacle and larger-than-life robots of the Transformers series. It is a heart-pounding adventure that explores the themes of family, loyalty, and the power of friendship, while delivering exhilarating action sequence and jaw-dropping visual effects. Fast and Furious Turbocharged Transformers coming out 2029.
Bro,
I would work on that title.
I would
though.
work on that shit.
I would work on that title.
I would
wants to-
present that. I would present that. Like, yo, listen, I got this fucking idea. Mix
You
this.
gotta-
Yeah, that's $1 million idea
You
right
gotta
there.
You gotta workshop that title.
Who
That
has,
title sucks.
who wants to try their hand at this?
I know. I got it.
Okay.
I got something. Okay.
Tell me what it is.
Okay, so since that movie didn't actually that script actually didn't sound all that bad, I'd call it like something like Fast and Furious cross Transformers Race for the Allspark or something. But anyway, so check this out. I'm gonna kind of bite off of a current Transformers series.
Okay.
Right? So there's a Transformers series that's out right now called Transformers Earthspark, right? Where these young kids from Philadelphia find this power that binds them to their own Transformers who were created on Earth. So they literally have a key to each other's emotions. They're empaths, right? So the kids have to learn more about the Transformers history because their parents were involved in them with them, and you have the new Transformer kids, basically the Terrans, who were born on Earth, who have to learn about their heritage. So they learn how to transform, they learn about their powers, they learn about the war, all that stuff, right? So with that in mind, I would do something like, for the sequel, give the Don Toretto and his family the same type of techniques that the kids have in order to turn their cars that they use into brand new Transformers.
Okay, so you gotta give me a sentence to summarize that so I can put in this AI.
Yeah. Let me see how am I gonna.
So we're doing Fast and the Furious Transformers again?
No, just
I'm just coming
a
up with
sequel idea that you have. A sequel idea that you have, like
Yeah.
a fast sequel that you have. We're gonna throw it to the AI, see what it gives us.
Yeah. So all right. So a script treatment in where Don Toretto and the family from Fast and Furious team up once again with the Transformers. But this time they are given the ability to transform their own cars into brand new Autobots to help fight the newest villain, or in this case, a villain that everybody already knows is probably supposed to be the one with the biggest ego, and it's not Megatron, it's Starscream. Because Starscream is always the guy he's always out for himself. You know what I'm saying? Like one minute he's like, "Oh, I'm with you, Megatron, I got you," and then every time Megatron leaves the building, he's like, "Man, I can't wait to beat this guy. I can't wait to defeat. He's such an idiot. Blah blah blah. You know, he's such a pansy." But this time, he actually tries to get his hands on this ultimate source of power. So, how would I write that?
So, a script treatment for a Fast and Furious and Transformers crossover, where the Fast and Furious crew can transform their cars into Transformers. And who was the main villain?
Main villain is Starscream.
The main villain is oh my god damn, I can't spell it. The main villain. Am I not spelling right? I can't spell, y'all. I need to go back to school.
Well, it's late over here. I'm gonna give you some leeway.
Oh, well, there we go. Okay. Main villain is Starscream. Let's just do that and see what they give us.
Yep.
Okay.
Guys, I'm gonna have to
Oh,
bow out here in a minute, y'all. This is
okay.
where I'm at, and y'all really nerding out on this shit. So what the fuck?
Oh, you know
Call it,
what?
bro.
No, you good. You know what? Before you go, so I put it in while me and him are doing it.
Yeah.
What would your script treat? What would you
What
want
would
your
your
sequel
script
to do?
treatment be?
What for the Fast and the Furious? Like making
Yeah.
another one? Like in my opinion,
Yeah.
man. Listen, it's hard because for the Fast and the Furious, I'm over it. So I mean, whatever it would be the end. Just put it like that.
So okay,
Um,
but what would you want if you were directing this movie? What would be the plot for you?
for the Fast and the Furious, I mean, after everything that they've been through, I would say, uh, bro, I don't fucking know, man. They've had 10 movies already. I mean, now one that I do have, when did I do have, like, if it was just like any kind of movie, I would want, like I was saying earlier, like no, they're making another Bad Boys, and I wanted, which I fucking thought was gonna happen. I wanted The Rock to be the villain in the Bad Boys movie,
Ooh.
and Will Smith and Martin fucking go up against The Rock, and he's not anything tied into any previous character or nothing with he's just a new guy in Miami, and he's trying to become the new drug deal guy or whatever, and he's just got a super fucking thing, and him and Martin and Will fuck the guns go up against and fight The Rock at the end of the movie. That shit right there,
Okay,
I
well we'll
would
put that.
love to see that.
We'll put that chat GPT. But it was nice to have you, Brian. We
Yes,
talked a
sir.
lot. We talked a lot.
Definitely.
Can't wait to have you on again and let people know where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, we have to Beeline ENT all day. We got 4 shows. We got Tuesday night web show. We got Thursday night entertainment where you come on and show up. That's right. Subscribe to the channel. Sunday nights we got Live on the Line, and we also talking that Wrestle Talk straight through the ropes, baby. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. across the boards. I've been hanging. Come on and show off. Get the gear. Get the merch. Hit the website. Hit the links. I'll holler. Yo, Jay, as always, been a pleasure, bro. A lot of
Been a
fun.
pleasure.
Kyle, you know how it is. We
I
always get
do.
down. Kyle, I got to get on your show, man. I want to talk about some stuff with your show, man. I like
Oh
your,
yeah, no,
I like your platforms.
we'll definitely set that up, bro.
For sure.
We gotta bring that energy over. Yeah.
For real, all day. All right, y'all. I'm out of y'all.
All
Be
right.
good.
Night,
And
dude.
we just gonna end it right here, y'all. Kyle, I try to bring up your chat GPT. It seemed like you don't want us to know. The
It's all good.
Oh wait, no, wait, no, wait. Yo, here we go. Here we go. They call it the Fast and the Furious Transformers Collision. I'll just give y'all a log line. When a powerful Decepticon, Starscream, threatens to wreak havoc on Earth, Dominic Toretto and his crew must team up with the Autobots to stop him. Utilizing new technology, the Fast and Furious crew gains the ability to transform their cars into Transformers, creating an unprecedented collision between high-speed car chases and epic robot battles. That was it, y'all. It's been fun, but we gonna get up out of here. As you can see, Fast and Furious, the first one, it's a shock to your system. It's just completely different what we got now. But hey, I still had fun. I gave it a low buttery high buttery low movie theater. It's a fun movie. We're gonna review Fast and Furious X or 10. The Fast Never Stop. We're gonna review that on Sunday. And then next week is going to be a field week because my man Kyle is going to be on because we are going to do the monthly anime show we've been talking about with a few of our fellow anime nerds in the community because this season of anime has been great. We're going to talk about all that goodness, the Mashal, the Hell's Paradise,
Ooh.
it's one anime that like they do bad CGI on purpose and it is hilarious. uh, and Demon Slayer, of course, all the good stuff. And yeah, we're gonna just have a good time. But hey, we're done. Kyle, once again, thank you. Brian and Warren, thank you guys. It is fun. Hope to have you guys on again. But hey, y'all, it's done. But remember, when you come to the reviews, just remember to always bring the popcorn. All right, y'all, we are out of here.
Yeah, man, that was fun. Thanks again.
Raider.